Three, two, one.
Yo, we got your back when you driving to work or driving home. If you on a plane or you at the gym or you home alone, all you gotta do to listen to the shows, turn on your phone. Two Ugly Nerds podcast, tell you what's going on. This is the podcast.
Eric is ugly and would not judge anybody else.
There's no other insult.
When did you learn that you were
Two Ugly Nerds podcast.
Welcome to the
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Two Ugly Nerds podcast, niggas from the Black Nerd community. I am your host, Derek. That's Ian. That's Geronimo. At this point, you've heard a lot of episodes back to back, and somewhere probably an episode before that, you heard me say that as well, which means that whenever I said that, you didn't get it. Whoops. My bad.
Real this time.
But this time really, you're really catching up, which means next week you will actually have an on-time episode. Okay? The bills are paid. We're back. Okay?
Thanks for rocking with us at all times.
Thank you. I'm just saying, it's not free to do this, unfortunately. Not yet. I mean, it is. It's just hard to do it for free. So, anyways, that's not the point. The point is, we're back. And to come back, pause, I want to, I just have to be careful now. Ever since that episode, I have to be careful. I want to start us off with a nice little icebreaker question that I've been mulling over here. I actually been mulling over this. It's two questions, right? Two questions for y'all. And y'all out there in the comments, y'all also answer this question and let us know what you think about this, okay? Because I'm very interested to hear people's opinions. First question, what would you rather deal with? In whatever form you want to take this in, something coming from space, whether that's just visitors from space, whether that's an attack, an invasion, whatever it is, would you rather have to deal with something coming from space or something coming from the ocean? In the same way, whatever comes from the ocean could be non-aggressive. It doesn't have to necessarily be an aggressive thing. Just what would you rather deal with? Something coming from the ocean, from the deep ocean, like the places, the depths we've never discovered, or something coming from space? That's the first question. Second question, which do you think is more likely to happen in your lifetime? Same two things, something coming from space to Earth within our lifetimes, or something coming out of the deep ocean in our lifetime. Something coming out of the deep ocean on its own, I don't mean they send a harpoon going crazy far down and killed some random fish and pulled it up and whatever. I mean, something coming up on its own. All right. Those are your two questions. Who wants to go first?
Well, I'll go since we kind of chatted earlier. But I withheld all my my opinions. Okay, so the first half, what would you rather deal with? Honestly, rather deal with the deep ocean stuff because, I mean, as you get deeper in the ocean, it's actually pretty deep down there. It's even to the bottom. Hell, we're still unsure about just whatever is down there, living or not, because it's just so dark. Water pressure goes crazy, and it's just things get scary the deeper you go underwater and larger. But at the same time, if push come to shove, we have naval, nautical military stuff or whatever to attempt to shoot and bomb stuff, whether they emerge on some kaiju shit, like walk out onto the surface, or if they're causing some tremors or something, we might be able to just set up some sea mines or something like that. Space, that's just the unknown. I can't really say let's deal with the unknown like that, because at least with deep water, it's here. We're all here. We can figure something out with that. Space, they already got the aerial advantage and shit. It could be a spaceship just outside, or I don't know, not outside, but just outside of our actual atmosphere, and they just hurl shit just cause for shits and giggles. I mean, we haven't got no proper missiles for shooting things off like that. We have satellites and stuff, but they could have said, fuck the satellite, just bodied down on the way over here, whatever part of the around the Earth it could be at. So yeah, I'd rather do the deep sea threat.
You mean whatever edge of the Earth it could be at?
Whatever. All right, look, No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that one. Nah, you try to catch me slipping. No. No. And then the second answer, which is more likely? I think the deep sea one is more likely to happen. I think they're going to be like, all right, y'all humans is fucking up the environment too much. It's about time to just take y'all out. We're about to inherit the rest of the planet, and that's that. So yeah, that's what I think.
Wait, so the second question was the likelihood of
it happening in our life.
Which one happening in your lifetime? Something coming from the ocean or something coming from space. You don't have to like specify it being necessarily any sort of attack or anything like that.
Or anything.
Just something coming from the ocean and something coming from space. It doesn't have to be an attack specifically or anything like that.
Well, technically things come from the ocean all the time.
But I mean, like I said, I specified deep ocean.
Deep ocean.
Something coming from the deep ocean, from the space that we've never seen, from that deep shit.
An unknown entity from deep.
Literally, it don't look like
USO, unidentified swimming.
That's why Gerard talking about sea mines. That shit probably bullet sea mine proof, nigga. That shit ain't going.
Maybe, but better than nothing.
Look at Gerard. Look how fast Gerard become a movie, right? Like he talking about this, some shit come out of the deep ocean and we just gonna shoot it. Like ain't that what the stupid people in the movie doing? Oh, let's send the military to shoot it, and they just be shooting.
Gotta try something,
and the shit be bouncing off.
It may be futile.
Gerard gonna send the military out there to get smoked. Y'all gonna get swiped out this bitch.
Hey, look, we at least have more refined chance trying to do that shit.
Yeah, sending them out water, right? Sending them out while you watch. Yeah, you're just your idea.
Hell yeah, while I watch. Hell yeah. I ain't pledge my body to no military. Yeah.
No, facts, but I don't know.
We don't know what's going on up there.
I agree. We also don't know what's going on down there.
This is true as well. I just think because we're already here on the planet versus they already got like super aerial advantage. They coming from space. We it's just more unknown.
But what if okay, hold on.
We are actively exploring the deep sea. At least we have like little ships that can handle the pressure and stuff. We just have a few satellites here and there, some rovers here and there on other planets.
See, here's my thing though, and that's why I phrased the question that way, because what is the guarantee that anything coming from space necessarily has weapons? That is the conditioning that our world has put us into, that you would just assume something coming from space has weapons of some sort of why is it not possible there could be another society out there that has fully mastered space travel without ever having the need to feel like they would have to arm a ship? Isn't that like it's possible that there's a place for sure, where they had there's complete peace. Maybe I'm speaking like in some multiversal type shit, we're nerds, right? But I'm just saying, like, what's the chances that they have to be aggressive? Like, I think we assume that because we fear what we don't know, right? So you just assume something coming from space probably has the ability to kill us. But what if they come from a society that's never ever considered taking another life? Like you know what I'm saying? Like even animals.
That's everything. The best case scenario.
I'm just saying. Of course, but I'm just saying that is a possible thing as well. I hate when you phrase it. That's why I tried to phrase it that way, so that I would just say, what would you rather deal with? It doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Or maybe say deal with makes it seem like it has to be something more negative, but I don't know. Because which would you rather deal with should be more like, which would you, maybe it's a better way to phrase it, like, which would you want to be on the front lines for? Like if the kaiju comes out the ocean, are you like, yo, I'm chilling. Y'all got to figure that out. But if the aliens come out, you like, yo, hold on. I might want to be like in the action. You see what I'm saying? Versus like, or if the kaiju come out, you might be like, yo, I want to kind of get out in the ocean. I want to get on a fucking jet ski and be shooting my gun too. Or, but if it's alien invasion, I'm hiding in my house in the bunker. I don't want to see these niggas. I hope they leave. You know what I mean? Like it could be two different. That's more of what I'm trying to get to with the question when I say with the part of which would you prefer to kind of deal with, and then which would you think is more likely to happen? That's just up, that's more straightforward. That's just up to you. What you think is more likely to happen in your lifetime. But
All right, I got an answer,
Okay.
and it's gonna be
Technical, we know. Go ahead.
technical.
All right. Well,
Technically.
Technically,
can we use that
Technically
to?
yeah. So we all understand that it's, the deeper in the ocean you go, the more pressure is associated. Because of that, a lot of the creatures down there are really small, and that's a thing. So more than likely, whatever comes out of the depths that we don't know will probably be really small. It will probably
know what its abilities are. And you don't know what its exposure to less pressure, you don't know what the effect on that will be.
Yeah, we only know that if they're brought up too fast, they will pop. Literally.
Well, that's true, but that's why I said what's more likely to happen, because maybe they're slowly rising. Maybe they've seen people of their species. Maybe they've seen creatures of their species rise up and pop because they went too fast or whatever, and they go, "Oh,
I will say slower. We are more.
It might take me a million years, but when I get to the Earth, boy, them humans is fucked when I get up there, boy." That's all I'm saying.
I would rather be on the front lines of the fish.
Oh, the fish. You see how you try to downplay it?
What I'm saying is the
fish. Like there's gonna be some salmon coming out. Like, yo, I think we just spear these. I think we'll be all right. Yeah,
I think we're more likely to see that than an alien invasion, and I think we're likely to see an alien invasion than a kaiju. I will say that, and I would absolutely not want to be in a scenario where there's an alien invasion, because like whether they're friendly or not, nigga, you got here, which means you got some shit that we ain't got.
True.
And we are prone to violence first.
Yeah, we're impulsive.
So if we're gonna likely try to take it out of the sky, and it's not gonna end well for us, it's a done deal. We won't even have a say in the matter.
But this is what I'm saying. How do you know that's the case?
How do I know?
Yo, this is what I'm saying. Yo, expand your imagination. So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying, right? So expand your imagination, right? The alien race comes here fully in peace, right? Mm-hmm. They don't know shit. They come from the side. They don't know anything about attacking anything. So they find another place where there's life that they can communicate with. And they're like, yo, we want to talk. But of course, unlucky for them, they come to America first. And you know what we doing. Ain't gonna be no peaceful welcome. Ain't gonna be no
don't come here.
It's gonna be I'm trying to steal this alien ship. That's what's gonna happen, right?
Yes.
That's America. Okay, you're landing in the ghetto of Earth. So well, also France might also be a little bit of the ghetto, but that's different. Anyway,
get that little French shade in there.
Facts.
Never.
Hey, but long live the rebels over there. I support that. Anyways, though, imagine now they don't have any weapons, so they do land over here. We smoke them, right? How long before their planet realizes that their ship never came back? They send another ship. That ship realizes that ship. They find the coordinates, all that jazz. They realize their people are dead. They go back. They start learning, but they are already more advanced than us. So, and they know space travel. So now they come back. Now we're getting fucked. All we got to do is lead with love, man. Love.
They better lead with it first. Visiting this turf, shit.
Why do we assume that anybody coming from space is dark side? Like, I just don't get it.
I mean,
all I'm saying is they
better communicate that peace and love very well.
In a scenario where space can be dark side and the ocean can be dark side, I'd rather deal with the ocean being dark side.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at too. Yep.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Ian went super technical, so I get it. Here's my thing. In my fantasy world, yes, they may be small to be in the pressurized space, but because there's no scientific evidence to say what happens as they rise, in my head, they can expand with the less pressure that they're exposed to. So you don't know what size they could end up being by the time they get to the surface. So I'm gonna roll with that as my explanation for still getting something huge coming from that depth of the ocean. And science can't disprove me yet because
yeah,
all I'm saying is science can't disprove me yet. So good luck, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Anyways, he's not even, that's not even his field at all. I'm just it's okay. I know that I'm being an asshole because somebody's gonna be like, all right, yeah, we get it.
Please post that in the comments though after you like the video on YouTube.
Facts. Yeah, okay. So which would I prefer to deal with? I would prefer to deal with the alien attack. Only because, again, how my brain works, I would be interested to see what we could, or not necessarily attack. I would just be interested to deal with the alien presence, something coming from space, because I would be interested to see what we could learn from their tech, right? One, and also a couple of things, right? At the end of the day, I know for a fact the ocean is there. I may not know what's in it and all the way at the depths, but I know it's there. I know it exists. I've been in it. I've been across it. I've literally been on top of it in a boat and been able to see it and been scared for my life. So I know the ocean exists. I know it's there. I know like the Titanic sank. I know it's there. I'm an engineer. I've done a lot of studies. I've read stuff. I'm still a little unsure about space. I don't know.
A little.
I'm not saying it's unreal. I'm not saying it's fake.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm a little unsure. And as somebody that's unsure, I would prefer for the space person to come in and tell us, no, actually, we're all out here. This is a real thing. And no, you guys have never actually been anywhere. Because if you had actually came anywhere past Venus as a live human person, we would have clocked you. You know, you know what I mean? Like, I would just, like, what if we were literally like in the quarantine zone of the galaxy, right? Like, they were just like, oh, that's the humans over there. We just kind of let them fucking kill themselves. They're just over there being idiots. And then everybody else is living in like bliss, peacefulness. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So I would want this, because what could we learn from knowing that there's other life in space? Like, I don't know. I think that would be interesting. So that's what I would prefer. What do I think is more likely though? I think it's more likely, not that my crazy scenario happens where something comes from the depths of the ocean and expands, but I do think it's more likely to get something crazy coming from the ocean, like something that just does some supernatural wild shit that we just couldn't believe because it's been pressurized so long and because of blah, blah, blah. It's got something like, I'm not so worried about size. I'm more worried about like how it's adapted to that environment. You understand? Like, because, you know, we can kind of predict what animals or creatures will do based on the environment that they're in, based on how they've adapted to that environment, the type of foods they eat, what their predators are, what their prey is, all that type of shit, right? We don't know what the fuck is going on down there.
The food situation is a thing. There's no way that you can sustain something so big. But then again, you're saying that it's small and then it expands into something huge. So I guess that's a mute point.
I told you science can't disprove my imagination. Okay.
Physics can.
No, it can't. Why not? How can, what?
Pressure. What they call it? What they call that shit in the ocean? What is it called? It's some scientific thing. But yeah,
you say pressure, and pressure. I raise you quantum mechanics.
Uh-oh.
God damn it, Derek. All right, you got it. You got it.
Some Bernoulli shit. Bernoulli principle.
I'm just listen.
We're talking about Schrodinger's cat, yo.
Yo.
All right then.
We can make this sound like a Big Bang Theory episode. No. It's just I'm first of all, I'm fucking around, just for anybody who thinks I'm serious. Like I'm fucking around with
let them believe it.
Like,
let them come in and
really be like, yo, this dude thinks he's smart. Like, no, I'm just fucking
he's really
around.
thought a lot about this.
No, there is some like seriousness to some of the thought. Like, there is some seriousness to it, but it's mostly just for fun. No, man. Yeah, I would prefer to. I do think it's more likely that something crazy could come from the ocean here, just because the Earth is always changing, and we don't know, to what extent. We can only see how it's changing on our level. We don't know how bad it's getting deeper. We've polluted the ocean a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit. We worried about aliens. Atlanteans might pop up. You know what I mean? That's a real issue. You might get a little more Namor, a little less Aquaman, and it might not be so fun up here. So, that's all I mean. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what could come from down there is all I'm saying. And also, I hear what they're saying about like the science of it, but part of the question is, remember, I don't know if you remember this. This might have been in high school. I think we had this crazy conversation about known unknowns and unknown unknowns, right? And you remember that? You remember that crazy?
It was around the time that episode came out of.
Yes. Yeah. And all that science is based on things we know.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Everything I said today was based on.
Who's to say that there's not something in the depths of that ocean that does know how to be a big size and survive there? Who's to say there's not something that looks humanoid that knows how to survive? Who's to say that? That's just based on what we believe on our best evidence. And trust me, I'm not saying that's not, we shouldn't go with that. I'm just saying you can't say for certain that is, oh, this is the end all be all, and because it's the pressure, there's nothing possible that could be this. Some shit might not be what we think it is. Real quick, like we could be wrong. Niggas been wrong before. Math has changed, science has changed, we've changed theories, we've changed this, we've changed it. Shit be wrong. Mm-hmm. Like it happens. So and like I said, if let's assume all of our factors are true, right? We're orbiting in space, we're the moon is orbiting us, we're orbiting the sun, we've got all these different gravitational pulls and shit on the earth. We're also rotating on our own axis. We're also polluting the earth at a ridiculous rate, but also we got tectonic plates and shit that are still shifting and moving as they've been doing for millennia. Like shit could just be changing and you don't know what effects could be taking place anywhere on our planet. So yes, there's some science and stuff to it that you can say like, this is probably less likely or this is less likely, of course. But also, what if we wrong? Just what if them niggas not right? Like, nah, nothing down there could be more than this big. And then Godzilla can really come out that shit. And they're like, what we gonna do then? we gonna throw the scientists first? We gonna feed the scientists to Godzilla first? Like, yo, well, they said you couldn't be real, so they are sacrificed. Like, that's all I'm saying. The niggas could be wrong. Maybe them niggas' calculations was off. I don't know, man. Y'all tell us what y'all think, man. What would y'all prefer? What do y'all think is more likely to happen in your lifetimes?
Would you rather deal with a known unknown or an unknown unknown?
Or unknown.
Exactly.
Known unknown. I'll take that.
And the known of that unknown we know isn't a lot to know because there's still a vast amount of unknown that's yet to be known.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
No, that's right. That's true. Yes.
I'll still take those odds though.
Fair enough. I want the space visit.
That would be cool. And the peaceful space visit would be cool, but I just don't know.
I'll take it either way. Because all we need is one. All we gotta do is take down one ship, right? Like, let's say it's a space invasion. All we gotta do is take down one ship to get the technology that they use to get here. If we can reverse engineer it, bro, we're in the game. The problem is America's gonna be greedy, and we're not going to do what's really necessary to replicate the technology. Somebody's gonna try to profit off it first, and we're gonna lose a lot of people before we actually can like seriously fight back, and we can actually produce. That's what'll happen because greed and this world's fucked. But in a perfect case scenario, in Young Justice, we get the space technology, we figure it out, we reverse engineer it, we fight them off the planet, we really build a space force that actually can hover the earth and protect us. And then we start going out and Earth turns into War World. Anyways.
War World.
All right, guys. All right. Late Night Pod, episode 2. It's really episode 162, but it kind of works out, right? Episode 2. This is our second Late Night Pod, right?
Yeah, it's the second one.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is the Late Night Pod era. Okay.
This is Late Night Pod era. Well, the second Late Night Pod era, but
this is the second.
This is the first Late Night Weekend Pod era.
Yeah, I would say that.
We were doing weekday nights before. So.
Yeah, it was like Wednesday or Thursday or something like that.
Why were we doing that? Why are we doing that? Y'all some real niggas for doing that in the middle of the week.
I think it just worked out at the time.
Yeah, but niggas, y'all niggas was going to. I mean, I was going to work too, but y'all niggas was going to work, and then
I was getting off late back then,
and then
so it just worked out. I would just be like, well, shit, I'm already over here. Might as well roll through.
True. Yeah. True. It worked out. It did. It was fun times. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Time for technically,
the Loch Ness monster's down there.
Shit, believe it, 100%.
But also WWDC happened.
Hey,
what?
Yeah, it happened, and with it comes some peaks at the latest firmware to be launched, as well as some lofty dreams that we'll talk about later.
Lofty dreams.
But we're going to start off with the talk of the town, iOS 16.
Oh yeah, everybody going crazy right now.
Yeah, they're going crazy.
What's good with that 16?
Cheaters galore.
Scumbag activity going to be
activities are
an all-time high.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard, Gerard, they're adding the I was going to ask if you have this feature, if Android has this feature yet, but they're adding the ability to edit and unsend text messages.
No, some niggas send SMS messages, bro. They can't send and unsend nothing.
That's going to change soon, right?
It's SMS.
We have SMS and MMS.
I think
MMS, but there is also going to change soon, right? I think they're going to adopt a new standard. They're trying to get Apple on board.
I think they are. They're going to do something. They did mention they're going to do something with their text. Now, all you can do is just, you can't edit or unsend it. Now, the Messages app on Android.
Which also leads me to the next question. I wonder how this is going to look if you try to edit a Android message. Like,
you're not going to, nigga. You're not getting that message back. You just MMS. You just.
Is it going to do like? Is it going to be annoying? Like, Ian just tried to edit your.
Yeah. Message. Oh yeah. Oh, just like it does when you try to react to an Android message. You ever done that? And you get the little message.
That shit was so funny. No, we have the update now. It translates. We see the reactions now. It's a setting you have to turn on though, so I can see the reactions on the text now.
Yeah,
that was funny back then.
Do I? But. I don't be texting niggas with Androids, bro. We got a with Signal.
Liked, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was terrible. Yo, yeah, no.
Yeah,
this is why I get angry. This is why I use Signal and WhatsApp with y'all niggas, man. Y'all not finna drag me through this Android shit. Green bubble ass niggas. Can I change y'all messages? Who text me with an Android?
Still got problems with
it. Is a very annoying looking thing.
I'm telling you,
pretty sure it's on purpose.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is an ugly shade of green.
But the funny thing is, and MKBHD pointed this out, it's the same color green as the actual text message icon.
Who is it really?
Yes.
They might change that later.
Green.
They might change that like retroactively or whatever.
But it still looks really egregious on
Gerard.
Oh wow, that's a bright
like a
green.
Really bright green.
That's like a Nick.
Have I not been trying to get Ian to say this for years? That's all it is.
It is very
now. Don't
compared
get me wrong.
A nice little blue.
Listen, I've more pleasant to the eyes. I know it's a green bubble, but I don't remember how it looks.
Don't get me wrong, man. I fully get that the jokes sometimes they be flying, and sometimes you be like, "Hey, yo, I want to bust back." I get it. But when you have an iPhone, bro, them green messages are annoying as fuck to see. It's not personal. It don't mean you love your Android friends any less. I was just about to go do some research. There's a couple niggas I love that have
that's on purpose. That's
Android shit, and it is fucking. I mean, it's
the way Android. The way. Are you sure? Because I think it's intentional.
No, because if you go to light mode, if you change your phone to light mode, it doesn't look bad at all. It looks.
But you have to sacrifice your eyes with light mode.
Light mode.
I think it just looks so bad.
How you do that? How you turn your phone to light mode?
Pull down the.
Never. No, I'm not doing that, bro.
And then you press.
You just asked the troll.
You long press the.
I did. I was fucking around in. Don't take me too seriously.
And then all right. But yeah,
I mean, I guess it does look pretty normal on where the iPhone niggas. I'm sorry, bro. My phone in light mode is hideous. God, this is terrible.
Dark mode though, it just makes the green look really bright.
It's terrible. It's not good. It's not good, man. I'm sorry.
Then what they ought to do is just let us.
It's not Android's fault though.
Let us change the color of that.
It's Apple's fault.
And you know what?
Because they could change it.
They could change it. They really could change it.
It's not our app. It's your app.
That's just, this pandering.
Yeah, but it's how y'all look on our shit.
This pandering
to us.
That's a you
They
problem.
conform to us. Nah, that's why we got Signal.
Yeah.
That's why we got Signal. So I can pretend y'all niggas look like us.
Yeah, I'll say whatever makes
Everybody
you
bubble
feel
blue.
good.
Everybody
Whatever
bubble
makes you-
blue, nigga.
Whatever
Everybody,
makes you feel good.
you know.
Oh man. Anyway, that's a feature that's coming to iOS 16. I'm looking forward to seeing how that
All y'all
works.
getting cheated on 2022 and beyond.
If you accidentally send your parents nudes, you can unsend that nude.
Now, if you're doing that,
You can do that now. Well,
Yeah, but why? How?
that's another question.
Why is that happening to
That
you?
may or may
Send
not
that
need to
nude
be
through
answered.
What
Snapchat.
position are you at in life where you still accidentally send your mom nudes? Why is that?
She has her dad as dad
I'm trying to
as a
think of it.
contact, but then she
Oh,
has
man.
her
You know,
sneaky
yeah.
link as daddy, and she forgot.
Yes.
Just living a thought, bro. She's like, oh
Said-
no.
Yeah, that's a rookie mistake. That's a
That's
rookie mistake.
nasty, yo.
You are,
That's
you're,
nasty on two
you are,
levels.
you. If you're making that mistake, you're a teenager still. You're not doing that as
Oh, look.
Or you're old enough to,
Teenagers are
be
probably
technologically not so literate.
Nah, you
might accidentally.
if your grandma accidentally sent,
yeah, she out in the dating scene now. She wanna explore a little.
he's having her.
how's your grandmother accidentally sending you a nude?
It don't got to be
instead
a
of whatever
grandmother. It could be your mother.
your mom. How's your mom's accidentally sending you a nude instead of whoever she out there
Yeah,
talking to?
that's
Maybe
pretty-
her
How
man.
your name
that
and that
happened
Maybe
nigga
her
shook.
is
man has
similar.
the same name as me.
How? Ian.
I mean, not me. Obviously, my name is
Ian.
Mad, not common. But
All right. Okay.
it's funny enough. I don't think any of our names are common enough to.
Nah, I told you,
Mistake
bro.
it for another name.
Derek is
There's only two Dereks. It's me and Derek Jeter.
there's only two Dereks.
Well, that's spelled DERK.
It's just us.
DEREK. Yeah, most Dereks are the two R's.
Yeah,
ICK.
Yeah, Derek Rose.
Yeah,
he honorary.
Derek
He
Rose,
honorary,
yeah.
but
Derek.
he ain't.
Really a Derek. He just
He
don't really know
ain't
about this
really
Derek
a
life.
Derek.
He one of them Dereks. He ain't one of he one of those. He ain't really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the feature that's coming. But apart from that, the one I was kind of excited about until I kind of saw it, the lock screen updates are coming.
Oh.
First off, they're giving us the ability to customize a lock screen.
I'm happy.
And
for
I
you.
recall being able to do this only with my phone unlocked. I'm guessing it's a feature that's now standard on Android.
Is it kind of like always on display, more or less? Or
I was hoping they would talk about that, but they didn't mention that. Maybe they'll talk about that on the Anyway, no, it's basically you can change the color or the look of the clock on the lock screen.
You could download a widget app. You could download a widget now and do that anyway.
A widget can now be placed on your lock screen as well.
oh, that's dope.
You can get a picture that is in portrait mode, and the subject of how they do it on the Apple Watch there, where the subject is kind of
over
the number.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming to the
Are they gonna do that on this lock screen on your phone?
Yeah, if you put a portrait photo on there. They have this thing called live notifications or live activities. It's a notification that will
notification to go off.
Yeah. It's gonna like show you like live updates of like say like a game that you might be monitoring on NBA Live application, or if you're like trying to see what the status of your
thank God, because
Uber Eats
Bleacher
order
Report
or
is
something.
Trash. Oh wait. So it'll follow like everything. It'll follow your like you said, your Uber Eats, but it'll also keep up with game scores. It'll also keep up with
stuff like that. All the apps. I mean, there's
so it'll keep up with like your news and shit. Like breaking stories for this team that you follow on this app.
Yeah,
that's a little scary because that means it's reading all the apps, but it's doing that already anyway. So fine.
Well, this is going to be application based. So what the apps themselves would have to implement this feature.
Oh, give the permission for that app to read it. And
I wonder if they like that widget themselves. They'll have to, like NBA Live would have to have a widget to have on the lock screen so that you can monitor it that way.
So when you're on your main lock screen, right? When you're on your main like home screen and you scroll left.
Yeah.
And you look here, right? Like So basically, it would be like a combined version. So normally I have, like right now, this is a foot mob. This is just I hate that this is sitting here. I'm going to delete this because why does it just say Manchester City champions? Fuck them. I'll add that back next season or something. But anyways, if I add like Bleacher Report and I add like, I don't want y'all to see all the apps in there. Not that they're all important, but if I had like Bleacher Report and like other sports following apps and like ESPN and shit like that, right? In this side scrolling in this side swipe section of the phone, it'll show all those different widgets and whatever games I follow and all that there, right? What the live notifications app is going to do is instead of it showing me, see, that's where I get confused. Am I still going to have to add a widget for that somewhere for then that live notification to work to read the widget? Oh, so that don't help nothing. I thought like if it would just read whatever apps are on your phone, as long as that app has given, as long as you've given the permission, like for the live notification thing in the app to link or to connect, then it could give you the same notification that you would have gotten before. And the only reason I felt like that would work better is because right now I might get annoyed if Bleacher Report keeps trying to send me random different articles that don't really have to do with Liverpool or something, or the Sixers. But if the live notification app is better at siphoning just the stories that are really about the Sixers or just the stories that are really about Liverpool, then and they are still going to link me that when I click it in that app, it'll still open Bleacher Report or ESPN or FootMob or whatever the individual app is, then I can see the apps buying in to it. You see what I'm saying? Like I thought that was the functionality, but it seems like you're saying you have to add an individual.
Yeah, each app will have its own individual widget version of widget a live will give you a notification.
Yeah, that's whack. The apps already do that themselves.
But this one, I guess it'll be graphically different. Like they have an example of it on the virtual I'm about to show you. I'm about to post it on the thing. Like the first picture here, it shows Timberwolves versus the Grizzlies, and this will just be a static widget on the bottom of your screen updating live, a live feed of the score.
Yeah, but I feel like I can do that now. I just have to scroll to the side instead. It's the same thing. They're just moving it from the side and allowing you to put it there.
That might actually be what they're doing.
That's the same thing. Like, yes, if I want to follow, if I want to only follow one team in one game, it will put here. And I mean, I guess maybe, okay, I guess it is a little bit of a step up from maybe what some of the apps do. But if there's apps where you really only follow one team and that's all you're following, what that one team is doing, that's all you'll see there. Like that team playing that app, they're updating the score. You're getting notifications off the whole game. There's times where I've had to cut the notification off on my app because my app was updating me faster than the game was actually showing on my computer on my TV. So I've had to like
spoiler.
Yeah, like yo, I don't want to know what happens. Like cut this shit off.
What they scored? Oh,
like yeah, oh shit, I'm 10 seconds behind. Like oh, we're fucked. Like yeah, like exactly. Like so, I don't want to see this shit. Like yeah, so like that's what I mean. Like this is cool, but. And it still is going to depend on your connection in your area. Like people are going to get this feeling like they're dope. But if your connection is trash at home, you pay for that low internet service at home. When you get home on your Wi-Fi, your shit might not be crispy like that. You might still be behind. Niggas might be on Twitter already tweeting about the end. And your shit's still saying 146 in the fourth quarter. Like
yeah, that's possible.
You know, so I don't know. I mean, no, it's cool. It's cool though. Don't get it twisted. It is cool.
But they gave this example and they gave like an Uber example. Like
now that's cool.
Uber sounds like good usage.
Being able to see Uber Eats orders, things like that. That I agree with. That I'm into that.
Yeah, they also mentioned, as you mentioned, widgets for wallpapers. They have live wallpapers now. They showed
Samsung glow
yeah, a little bit. They showed an example of the weather app showing the current weather on the lock screen in like some animated fashion. Probably the same way they do it on the app now, but you have to click the app now. You'll just see it on your screen. A lot of stuff, and then of course you have the now the locks, there are lock screen pages, I guess, and each one can have its own like focus mode and widgets and all, and designs and all the rest of it. So in the event that you are at work, you can have a page for that version of the lock screen. You're at home, you have a page for that version of the lock screen. You know,
that's pretty cool.
You can get crazy with it if you want. I don't think.
Oh, now they really stepping it up for the cheating niggas. Now that's fire.
Oh my God, you are. Well. I mean, how
They can.
you're assuming that the women aren't keeping up with this stuff too.
Oh, don't get it twisted. The women has been cheating better than us. You wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you got this.
It's niggas out here that don't know they've been cheated on, bro. It's all right.
Yep.
We're not the platform for that. We talk about video games. I'm just saying.
Platform for that.
We are not the platform.
This is not the content to expect regularly.
Just letting you know, it's some of y'all have been cheated on and don't know. Me included.
Ignorance is bliss.
No, I'm just joking.
Wow. Would you rather deal with the known unknown or the unknown unknown?
Yeah. Which one you want to know?
Yeah.
Nah, but then you be talking like you don't know, and then you be talking crazy because you don't know. Like, be humble because you just don't know if your girl cheated on you. Just relax.
Yeah, and with iOS 16, it could remain so.
Ooh, boy.
Amazing.
Ooh, boy.
But yeah, that's all the stuff coming to well, not all of it, but you know, those are the high level stuff that's coming. They also mentioned the M2 chip. They announced that at the conference, along with the redesign of the MacBook Air and its many colors, starting at $1,199.
Oh, cool. 1,100.
Ooh, yeah.
1,200.
1,200. Yeah.
Who ain't got that in the top?
As far as the chips go, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I found some specs here. I don't think anybody's run any benchmarks. I haven't seen any benchmarks comparisons between the M1 and the M2. But on paper, the M2 comes with 8 cores at its base. The M1 only came with 7 at its base, and you could upgrade to 8 cores. Not crazy, but you know, that's a thing. It can be spec'd with 2 more GPU cores than the M1. So up from 8 to 10 GPU cores. Has 4 billion more transistors, if you care about that. I don't know what that means.
It sounds like
grand scheme.
It does sound like teraflops.
Sounds like
why are they talking about transistors?
That sound like teraflops, though.
What are they doing?
Yo, when they just be saying words.
Let's just say something to make them feel like they're missing out. The FOMO will kick in.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
You don't have all the transistors. Like, ain't that a video game?
I ain't talking these 12 transistor having M2 chip motherfuckers. I mean 16 and up.
You ain't got them transit. You ain't got the
You ain't got enough transistors in your Serato, my nigga.
And 32 gigs more of memory bandwidth, which is a pretty big deal.
That's nice.
Memory bandwidth is, that's good.
We like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And one MacBook Air model was only $1,000, so this is going up $200.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or $300. Yeah. So, how do you feel about that now that we have a M1 to M2 comparison versus what everybody's comparing the M2 to the MacBook, the M1 Pro?
I mean, I think that's obviously a step up, right? Like,
yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, like clearly there's a jump there, which that you would expect if you're getting a 2 versus a 1. But I understand why there's the comparison to the 2 and the 1 Pro, because why would there be a version of a 1 that's better than any version of a 2? To me, it doesn't make sense. So I understand why people are confused on where the pricing and stuff goes. Now, as long as it's still priced accordingly, if this is weaker and it's cheaper, then okay. As long as Apple isn't trying to overcharge you for a cheaper chip because it says 2 on it, then I don't really care.
I guess you can look at it like this. iPhone 13 Max is not better than a regular iPhone 13 Pro.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Like the regular size one.
But that's different though, because they're still comparable, right? They still do all the exact same things. But if I said,
But the
I said the
iPhone,
base iPhone 14 wasn't better than the iPhone 13 Pro,
the base iPhone 14. Okay, I see what you're doing there.
I'm trying to, yeah, I made up the next, you see what I'm saying? I just went to the 14. But if the next phone, if the base version 14. Of that, now don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about the budget versions because we know they take stuff out to give you like, oh, hey, these are some of the features that this can do now, but you know, this is still a cheaper version of the phone. It doesn't have as much processing power. It's going to be a little slower, yada, yada, yada. Right. So I'm not talking about the budget version of the phone. Those are out the conversation. The base version, because I understand that, and we need that, especially in our society. We need a cheap version of these phones for people. But if you're talking the base version, like what is supposed to be the base flagship of the next generation of phones, that has to be better than any version of the previous phone I could get. Has to be. That makes sense. Because if not, then I could just get the previous version that should now be on sale. That's the issue they ran into. Well, they kind of run into every year, right? They don't do enough upgrades. So people just wait for this one to go. And then people did it with the watches. That's why they cut us off and they started just offering the 3 and then the 6 and now the 7. Like, and the 3 now became like the budget watch because every time they dropped a new watch, everybody just went and got the old watches that were now on sale or cheaper, or you could get from the third party person that was a lot cheaper just because the shit was on, because the new one came out. So they don't want that to happen here. You've got to make it a big enough jump to make people worth it. If it's not,
it's funny you make that comparison because the base iPhone 14 will have the same processor as the iPhone 13.
I think we talked about that.
Pro. We did talk about that last episode.
Yeah, so, we did.
So yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. That is, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do about that.
It's just weird.
Yeah,
it's weird.
They might justify it. I think if the pricing is still according, then we're fine. But if they're trying to scam people, because you know what people are like. You know, if they see the new M2 chip, you're gonna buy that without. It don't even matter if they got every spec on the back of the box. They're not going to pick up the M2 and the M1 chip and read the specs between them and say, wait, this one is actually better for performance or maybe what I need.
Well, what they'll likely do, and with that, what I see they did here with the M1 and M2 is they'll like beef up the specs of other things. Like the base model of the 14 will probably have the maximum amount of RAM or the maximum amount of storage that you could get on the 13 Pro.
So that's what I mean. The overall package, even if it's not in the chip specifically, the overall package of what that chip is being put in has to still somehow balance out better than what I could get with whatever has the old chip in it. It has to somehow balance. It's got to do something. There's got to be some function. Has to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Last thing I thought was interesting was the Apple CarPlay preview that they did. This is where the lofty dreams come in. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. I don't know if you guys saw it. Saw any articles out there or saw the conference where they show basically Apple CarPlay taking over the entire dashboard.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, really?
Love it.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen there's some cars that are coming out now. I think
that's dope.
Mercedes. I want to say Volkswagen as well. I've seen it in Honda. I think they might be playing with this too, where it's just a screen across the entire thing, across the entire dashboard, and then the screen on the bottom that where your temperature controls and stuff would be. And I honestly don't like it, to be honest.
Because it's all replaced with digital.
Yeah, I don't like.
Still like physical buttons.
Yeah, man.
I still I still like some of the knobs. Yeah, it's some more tactile to it.
Yeah,
maybe it's because I've never had the fancy cars that That the Ian has, I guess.
Fancy.
You know,
I don't have
all
this.
the Bluetooth and all the surround
right.
sound. We don't all have that.
I'll get this.
I'm just happy to have any.
I like
Bluetooth
my knobs like the next guy, man. Pause if there's anything that needs to be paused there. Anything. But
I don't know.
Yeah, debatable. But yeah. Especially with the way some people are doing it, like they would like have the temperature controls hidden behind mad menus. So you gotta like press 2 buttons just to get to your temperature controls, man.
Right,
and I'm driving. I shouldn't be fiddling with the damn. I should just know where the temperature knob is and turn it up and down if I need it.
But that don't make the digital controls bad. That makes whoever designed that menu bad.
Which is where this comes in. Apple CarPlay should resolve that issue. Yes. Now, a lot of and I think it's a general consensus that the infotainment system that comes with cars aren't the best. In fact, you pray and hope that they come with some form of Apple CarPlay or Android Auto so that you can have a decent infotainment system.
Just to have like your little GPS pop up on the little screen, is nice. I don't even have that. Still got to use my phone like a brokey.
I can't even know.
Yeah. Look at Ian. He's like, I don't have the struggle.
He's like, I don't know what life.
I don't even got Google Maps on my phone. I don't know what that is.
I do have Google Maps.
Because you got to use it to connect to your car. I know. That's the only reason.
Anyway,
you're like, damn, it got me clocked.
What's interesting about this is, and what's lofty about this is, well, when they talk about things like this, they would say, "Oh, we have X amount of people that are already have cars lined up for this feature." Mm-hmm. They did with the Apple Wallet. I didn't talk about that wallet stuff. There were a couple of things, but anyway, like they did with the Apple Wallet key for the car. Demonstrated it with the BMW, I believe it was. But this time they didn't have a car that they were already in talks with using this feature on. The Verge took it upon themselves to contact a couple of manufacturers to see if they would implement this, because this would essentially, do away with whatever they got going on, whatever software. And I think there's some ego involved. Like
yes. You know what this is? You know what this is? This is Sirius XM radio. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing.
How so?
Sirius XM. Mm-hmm. They came up with the cool. For anybody who doesn't know, obviously, Sirius XM comes up with the radio station, basically Pandora before almost like Pandora before Pandora, right? Just but obviously real radio stations, just endless amounts of radio stations, digital stations. You connect all this shit, cheap monthly, and the shit was amazing, right? And they got into bed with a couple of developers, and these things were coming in cars left and right. You were getting 3 months, 6 months free when you bought a car. Please use Sirius XM, and people were getting addicted to it. It was working. And as they were pushing to make this a standard across the industry, they got pushback. Why? Because we don't want you to have this much power across everybody. We're giving you access to our customer base, and we're doing it pretty cheaply. We're partnering with you to put your technology in because yes, our people might enjoy it, but then we're relying on you for service, and we're splitting a lot of our profits with you. And as this grows, and you can make your subscription fee more expensive. I can't charge them anymore for the car. Right. Yeah. So it doesn't really make sense. So they never let it grow that far. So Sirius has a limit, and it's still like an option, something you have to go look for, add. It's not something that comes as a standard as they were looking to do it. I think something like this will end up being the same thing. It'll be an option that's available, something you can add in. You want the full screen dash? We can preload it with our, with that play.
So they can get their, they're going to take their money up front that way. I guess.
Yeah. So it's an option. You can add it, and then we'll add that on as a feature. We'll charge you on top of it, so we get our money from it. You get your shit into the car, and that's cool. But they're always going to want to make their standard, because whatever their standard is, it's cheaper for them than buying it from Apple. Whatever they would rather see. Oh, Apple, that's what you want to do. Cool. We'll make something like that ourselves and put it in the car that can integrate with phones. And if that person really wants the Apple version, then you're gonna have to, pay for it, pay for the upgrade, or shit, do like us broke niggas do in our cheap cars. Get the little dash kit, pop the shit out, pop in the new 5 shit. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. Like, yeah, I think that'll be the same thing. I can't see this being. No one's gonna make this a standard. Like everybody doesn't have an iPhone. How can this be a standard in everybody's car?
Yeah.
They would have to make this accessible to Android as well, right? Or they'd have to make Apple CarPlay like compatible with Android phones if you're going to make this a standard in car. It doesn't make sense.
Well, it's not going to be like I don't think they're trying to make it a standard. I think they're trying to do it the way it is right now, where you plug your phone in and then Apple CarPlay pulls up. Except this time, instead of it taking up your infotainment system, it's taking up your dashboard. So the standard will still be there.
So then that's what I'm saying. What's stopping?
They'd have to allow the manufacturers would have to allow that to be the case.
Yes, and
it wouldn't even
stopping
be
the manufacturers from just taking this exact same idea but using their own UI and software interface and doing this exact same thing. What's
stopping them? I don't know.
Well, I'm reading the comments. I'm reading the comments from I'm reading these comments from like the automakers, and it sounds like
I think a lot of them they're not more willing. A lot of them are not into it. I think a lot of them would be more willing to do some kind of a marriage of theirs and this.
I don't know.
But taking up. There's some that you can have, like, there can be some safety implications involved here,
What do you mean?
Safety implications?
Yeah, you can this infotainment system, if left in the hands of, Apple, you can mess around and say your temperature is reading a certain way and it's actually running hotter than your engine temperature is running hotter than the infotainment system is telling you. Or you have less gas than you think you do.
Well, that could be the case, but that can happen to you now. But that could happen to you in a 1998.
Yeah, it's still a computer. It's just not
accurate.
Fancy. But I'm pretty sure. I'm sure
your gauge can be off. You know what I mean?
Would rather the liability
be on them,
or they'd rather not be a liability, and then it solely be on them as far as like the control that they would have over the software.
I don't know if I'm say we have our own car manufacturer, right? And we're making whatever, our fancy ass cars, and we implement our shit. Don't get me twisted. I'm not going so deep as to talk about failure rates, and I don't know anything like that. But we have an option of putting in our dash system that still has a chance of misreading your gas, misreading your temperatures, all of that. It still could malfunction and fuck up the same way.
Yeah,
it could, right? Now that could be fully on me. And if this happens to a bunch of people, I get a class action lawsuit. Or I can partner with Apple, use their shit. And if that shit starts happening to a bunch of people, we say, hey, yo, they guaranteed us that this would do it, and it didn't. So I can push the blame to you, and you got more money. You're Apple. You got all this money. Go ahead and y'all pay that. Y'all be easy. Like I would. It seems like it would make sense if there was going to be that. Like it would make. But I just don't think they'll partner with them because it's. They clearly sound like they want to push their own stuff still. Like I actually think they're trying to get away from CarPlay. Like I think they want CarPlay to be something that's like an added feature. Like, and I mean, it is an added feature for some models. Like, you can get like real basic cars still that don't even have like automatic windows, right? Like you can still get that if you really want it.
There actually is some credence to that.
So I think I know
a lot of the not a lot, but some of the electric cars that are coming out don't have CarPlay. I think Rivian doesn't have it.
Not surprised.
And I think it's Tesla. I don't think Tesla has it either. Yeah.
And also, how much does Apple even want to charge you to use it? Because I would assume Apple probably sits at a position where they think having CarPlay in your car benefits you, not we're really making a partnership. Like you need to have Apple CarPlay in your car.
I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Most of us have iPhones.
Sure, but does that mean for a fact that there's not another company out there that can create an interface for a car that is just as intuitive and works just as well with an iPhone? Now, I get it. They don't have maybe access to everything that Apple does, but is it impossible to make something that is comparable or just as good as Apple CarPlay from a third-party source? That you plug your phone in, no, it don't pull up CarPlay, but it still pulls up. I see you have Google Maps. I would assume it's easier for a company to get some sort of relationship with Google Maps so that it can go from your phone to your, whether that's linking the accounts or whatever they got to do. I would assume that's easier to do than trying to get Apple to work with you, because Apple just the high horse, right? Like,
yeah, but I honestly, with how they preach the ecosystem and how people value it so much, I can see that all it's going to take is one manufacturer to have this implementation, this level, for people to hop on board once they see them sales.
You think the dominoes will fall?
I think if this is accepted as well as I think it will be, and whoever decides to put this in their car, I think it'll be a domino effect.
I think it depends. I think if you see like a struggling car manufacturer, somebody that's struggling to sell in the US right now, whether that's a foreign or domestic, manufacturer, maybe they could see it as an opportunity to, like, oh, in our cheapest car, we also offer this, for a $5,000 extra on $5,000 bump, and I'm just making a number up, but $1,000 bump or whatever it costs, and we'll put this in your car that has Apple Play, and you can get this on any version. I could see that being a seller at some point, but are you buying like your Audi because it has CarPlay? Like if Audi had their
to God, a lot of people, their not sole decision, but a huge part of their decision is whether or not Android Auto or Apple CarPlay is involved in the car.
I think that is the case, but I think that's the case now because they become standards.
Yeah.
If we give, like, you can't tell me Audi don't have software engineers that could come up with something that integrates well. I'm not saying it's going to be as seamless or perfect. I don't know. I don't know what the limitations are, and the brand, not brand deals, but like, the agreements and contracts and all that type of stuff that probably goes on in the background that we don't know enough about to say like what's allowed to happen here. So I get that there might be red tape that stops them, but to me, that's more about shady business and not really just trying to present the customer with the best option. That's more about Apple going around and making sure all this red tape is here so that nobody else can do things as smoothly as we can. So that, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like creating a monopoly versus allowing there to be real competition. Because if they really believed Apple CarPlay was the best and offered the best experience, and they were the only ones that could offer the best experience, what would be the harm in allowing Audi or BMW or any other company out here to Ferrari to make their own interface that integrates just as seamlessly and easily with your phone?
I don't think.
And if people want the CarPlay, they'll upgrade to it. They can make an upgrade. Yeah. But if allow the base version to be a working version,
they'll probably do that.
And if you can offer something in your version that is just that much better and seamless because you also own the phones that are integrating, then by all means. But I feel like a lot of those other ones are just being held back more than they just can't match what Apple can do.
I don't think they can. Otherwise, they would have by now.
Okay. Fair.
There's just no. I don't think there's anything that any of them can make that'll be as seamless as Apple can make it with their own phone. I don't think it exists.
That's fair.
So I would love to see in that scenario the sales associated with how many people went ahead and just did the upgrade versus sticking with whatever the base software is. Because if I had the option, like if you had the option, would you take the base model or this Apple?
No, it would. I would have to see the base. I would have to sit in the base model and look at the interface, understand how, like plug my phone up, connect it, understand how it works, and see how comfortable I am with it. You know what I mean? Like if I did that and I was like, no, this is fine. Like this does everything I need. My music is right here. My GPS pop up right here. This pop up. If ever I can get my calls, I see my messages. If it's really that, if it does the functions that I need it to do, don't get me wrong, I get it. Some of y'all also want to watch, YouTube and play your PS5 while you on your dash while you're driving. So maybe it's not as seamless, and you want to play Xbox, Game Pass on the go mobile. I get it, but I don't really need all that in my car. So I if it does the base functions of plays my music well and clearly, I got different settings and stuff. I can, fumble around with my settings. I want to be able to do that with my music. And I can, Bluetooth connectivity, and I've got my messages in my phone and my GPS. Honestly, the only reason I wanted to connect with my GPS is just because obviously you've got everything already connected to your like to your Google Maps or something, you've already got saved places and your friends' houses and whatever. So it's like, okay, yeah, I don't want to have to enter all this again somewhere. So yes, I want that integration, but I don't need Apple for that. Like, I mean, I guess some people like Apple Maps, but Apple Maps sucks. Like, I don't even know who's using that primarily. If you're over like 27, like, I don't know if you're using Apple Maps.
People use Apple Maps.
Of course, because you don't know any better, but you're going to get lost. Apple Maps will leave you in the middle of a neighborhood and tell you because there's a Publix across the woods behind it. Like it will do that to you confidently and tell you there. Like, you arrived. No, you arrived. No, you there, bro. You got it. So you know what? Maybe the developers got a point with not wanting to trust Apple and trying to see your fuel levels. Shit might say you got a half a tank and you sputtering. You're done.
Honestly, I mean, if I had the option, I
get it. It's the best thing out there right now. I
connect right to it. I get it right to it. Especially if the shit has customizability, man. I can't even imagine that I wouldn't just choose it.
You know what I say? As much as I love Apple and the ecosystem, I'm always going to root for the company that could topple it. Like I always want to see that possibly happen if they were allowed to, if they were really like not held back by anything and they could freely reverse engineer, shit and really go into it and didn't have to go through all this. We patented every little thing. Like, could you make something as dope? I'm always going to root for that. So I would try it, but I fully understand why anybody would upgrade it. Shit works.
Yeah.
I get it.
Anyway, that's your Apple news, aka technically speaking.
Yeah.
We've technically been spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
Or you all, the listeners / viewers.
Also us. All right, guys. Dope. Moving us right along. We're headed into console tea. I don't really have tea. I have mango lemonade.
Just drinking water. Oh, the mango tea does slap from Publix though. But we just drinking water around here. Our big old.
Look at you being healthy, man. I'm proud of you. I should drink water too, but
is that a gallon? That's a gallon, right?
It is, but
this is a half gallon of lemonade. Oh, my bad.
No, we talking about draw.
Oh.
I never really fill this up because it takes a while to fill this all the way up. I have to like pour 2.5 pitchers worth in this. So I drink like 2 halves. Whatever. But console tea. We'll make sure I have tea next episode. So yeah, we kind of in the thick of not E3 time. It's been a couple of shows. We're not gonna go through all of them.
Like a favorite line.
Not
dropping shit on E3 ever since they said that shit not coming back.
Everyone's like, "Oh, I miss E3," and I'm like,
"Who's saying that? Who's saying that?"
People online who are like, "Oh, Xbox's show is okay." I mean, admittedly, it went on a little longer than it should have, but I think it was decent. And had a lot of gameplay though. It did
was hard as hell to follow. Man. It was a chore to follow everything that you wanted to follow.
Yeah,
except outside the big joints like Xbox.
Maybe a little bit, but I think people get so upset. Like if the show isn't like just 5 straight AAA titles, then I'm pissed. Like I hate it. I don't like it. If it's not 5 smash hits, like sometimes there's things for everybody. There's people out there that may not care about a Starfield or anything, and they want to play something like this. Like, you don't have to love every game that gets shown. Like,
you don't. Definitely, yeah. That's cool to have that, but just be like, oh, this show had nothing. I'm like, nothing interests you at all? Absolutely nothing.
Right,
We got a lot of gameplay in this
Do
one.
you like video games?
Yeah, facts.
Do you like to play video games? Do you like
Hey,
to
bro, you
talk
might not like
about
video
it?
games, fam. I'm just letting you know. It might not be a thing. Like, that's wild. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So before we get into the Xbox Bethesda stuff, Jeff Keighley had a Summer Game Fest stream, which was mid overall, but it ended with something that got leaked hours before, which was kind of funny, but at the same time, damn. He was going to end the show on The Last of Us 1 remake, which is now for PS5. It's been rumored, or I guess throughout this year, or whatever, because the HBO show is being made. It's more likely going to coincide with that. But it's a full remake. They're calling it The Last of Us Part 1. It's coming out September 2nd. You have a full trailer. If you play the game, it looks exactly the same, except graphics are a bit better. But at the same time,
let them niggas free, man. Free my niggas at
Naughty Dog is stuck in
Dog, man.
They are the last of them.
Let my niggas free, man.
They don't know what a Jack and Daxter is, bro.
Nah, facts. Hey, you didn't have to bring that up. That was unnecessary.
Bring that up, man.
That was really unnecessary violence. I don't even understand why Jack and Daxter was mentioned just now. I'm very confused. I don't know what did they do to catch that.
I have to be violent so we all can keep remembering what needs to be.
Right,
So,
man.
You have to do something. You have to do something.
You showed me that article. I almost cried, man.
I'm sorry,
Shed a
bro.
thug tear. Like, are you
I'm
kidding
sorry,
right now?
bro. Yeah, Sony got them making the realistic post-apocalyptic games. But yeah, so it's a remake. It's coming out September 2nd. It's going to be $70. They don't have the multiplayer on it. I think, I don't think that's a good value, but, it is what it is. Put people vote with your wallet. If not, do what you want to do. They did have old buddy from Naughty Dog, Neil Druckmann, at the end of that show, and he was talking. Oh yeah, we have a little concept art of the multiplayer called Factions. The next Factions, which I guess they're going larger scale with, and it's gonna be a separate release next year. I'm guessing it's gonna be like a live service game, but that's just me speculating. They didn't show no gameplay of that, so there's not much else to say about it. I'm guessing just going to play like Last of Us Part 2, but bigger and stuff. So yeah, that's that. That ended the Summer Game Fest show. Everything else, they showed a couple of things like the Callisto Protocol, which if you're a fan of Dead Space, probably should check that out. I think it comes out in December sometime. But yeah, to the regular stuff. Xbox Bethesda game showcase. So they had that today. They it's like about an hour and a half. It felt longer, but I think it was just part of the pacing.
Definitely.
Found a nice little hold on, not this one. Wait, where is it? Oh, here it is. Found a nice little article. Yep, nice little wrap up. We're not gonna go in the full order of what they showed in the show. I'm just gonna go through how they order stuff here. They started off with Starfield. That's actually how the show ended. They ended with a gameplay actual gameplay showcase of Starfield. And there you saw it. Ian, did you say you watched it?
I'm watching it right now.
You're watching it right now? Okay, cool. Well, that actually works out. So yeah, it kind of looks like what we kind of expected, like Skyrim or Fallout-ish in space. I guess more like Skyrim, thinking about it some more. Yeah. Where you can create your own ships. You can
No Man's Sky.
It is kind of No Man's Sky-esque. Like there's some parts that do remind me of No Man's Sky. But it looks interesting. Like you just drop on these planets and just go around. You can shoot different folks or whatever. You can explore and find like materials, and it looks like you have like a whole oxygen and carbon dioxide meter part of your suit. So it looks like they're gonna kind of go into the. It's like less like super fantastical space travel stuff that we see in other games, and it's looking more like, I don't know, like what if the far out future we actually mastered space travel and we're landing on planets for like research or whatever. So it seems to be kind of like that, and I don't think we got a good idea of the full story from that trailer gameplay. But
why are we doing this?
Yeah, we didn't get the full.
Why not?
Why not is the best answer. You're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they said there's gonna be like up to like 1,000 plants, which that sounds kind of insane. That sounds like that sounds way too many to me. Like, are we gonna land on 100? Like,
are they gonna be like procedurally generated planets?
I don't think they're gonna be procedurally generated. I don't think this game is procedurally generated. I think it's just a big ass game that they have a lot of stuff in for like story based stuff. Yeah, so I see the vision from the gameplay. I see the vision. I can see what they're trying to go for here, and it looks interesting. I mean, it's gonna be on Game Pass day one, so we'll all give it a fair try, at very least.
It's gonna be on Game Pass.
It's gonna be on Game Pass. Who would have known?
Oh my god!
Who would have known? But
Crystal did ask me if I wanted the Xbox.
That means
I'm not gonna lie. You know what? As we predate this, I'll throw the same thing I told y'all in the chat back in here. Is once you center yourself in the console wars again, you start to just see all the benefits instead of crying. I mean, typically I can't think of a game that's only on PC that I can't play on a console that I want to play, other than like obviously like old 90s, disc games or something that I don't have anymore. That's different than like new games coming out now. I can't think of any game that is only available on PC that I don't want to play anywhere else. So, and who would even do that right now? That'd be kind of crazy. It's not too many people that are only developing things for just PC.
It's few and far in between now.
Like, having the Xbox, really kind of opens it up. And even though I only have a Series S, so obviously I'm not getting like the super high end stuff. My best thing about it is it's small. It runs efficiently. It's pretty quiet, and it stays pretty cool for the most part. And so I like it. But watching the presentation and knowing you have Xbox and a Game Pass, even if, like I said, you don't have to get the most fancy Xbox. I just have the digital Series S. I only have Game Pass on it, and I look out for sales. Certain games, same like PlayStation, you could just wish list stuff and save it till it goes on sale, then grab it. But it really made me open like a different perspective, because instead of just having to watch this and be like, instead of judging this whole presentation based on having to spend money, I was judging it based on would I give it 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours of my time. And that really adjusts how you kind of judge a game, because you're not thinking about taking the money out your wallet and then I can't get that money back if I spend it, or if I go return, even if, obviously a digital game, but if you go back and return a physical copy, you're not getting the same money back, or you're trading it in or whatever. So you're losing money if you invest in a game and it doesn't work for you. So I understand, having Game Pass, it does do that. And we haven't really talked about it here, but we'll probably save it for next week. But some of the decisions that Sony's making with their stuff, it is making you look at it a little odd. And I don't mean that, they need to make like God of War come to the Sony Game Pass thing or whatever, Sony, whatever it's called. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but premium shit. I'm not saying they have to put their A titles right on it day one like Xbox is doing. I understand why Xbox is doing it, because it gets people like me over there. But you gotta push something, maybe in 6 months, maybe in 9 months. Like, you gotta do something that makes it makes people feel like, hey, I can come on this system, and even if I don't buy every game that comes out, I've got a place where I can at least try these games out. Because I look at them like demos. Like, unless you really, really love a game, you're not going to play that much of it. And if you end up really, really liking it, I feel like most people that really, really like these games will end up buying them. Like, I've tried a game and then you buy it because you're like, yo, this is dope. And if I ever lose PlayStation or I don't have it, I want to still be able to play this game. Most people will do that. So I don't know, man. Like, the Game Pass, I know Ian's been on the fence about trying to grab it or whatever. But like, it helps you look at so many games just so much differently. I don't know, man. I feel like I was giving them a lot of extra hate just because I didn't have an Xbox in the house. But now that I have one, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It's my fault. I was being really harsh on you because I didn't have one. I was jealous. I was jealous. And now I'm here, Team Xbox. And let's not play.
It's like, don't say things you might regret later. Like,
I mean, the hate was founded.
An extended honeymoon period.
It was earned hate. They did deserve some hate they got. Microsoft, and it wasn't hate, it was just criticism. Microsoft deserved a lot of criticism. Sony is about to get some very deserved criticism as well. Like it's all fair in love and war, but their reaction to the criticism has been good. They reacted well, and the Game Pass is great. So seeing so much, try it on Game Pass, first on Game Pass day one, seeing that so many times for this presentation, even for games I didn't care anything about that I probably would not play even for free or even included with Game Pass, was just still exciting to see, because it's like, yo, they're really invested in putting games on here. Like they want you to have this. And I don't know, part of me, didn't we kind of talk about this? But this is essentially, Game Pass is essentially Netflix video games, right? Like, we're just going to keep loading up your library with the most random games we can find. Anybody who wants a game put out, we will put it on Game Pass.
Some old, some new.
You want people to try your game? Send it to us. We'll put it on Game Pass.
They got the money. They'll cut the check.
How does
why wouldn't you just randomly, like, I'm telling you, it will be difficult for you. You get an Xbox or you just put it up on your PC and you'll just be, maybe PC I feel like a little harder because you got more stuff you might be worrying about. You got other apps downloaded, shit on your maybe you don't want to fuck with.
Just have a dedicated hard drive for it.
True
story. Terabyte or two. There you go. Boom.
True story.
Like how does this work as far as like the developers and such?
I think it depends. Some, like Microsoft, will just pay money and say, hey, we'll pay X amount of money so you have this ported over and we'll have it on Game Pass. Like the Persona games, I'll talk about soon. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal because those Japanese RPGs don't ever come close to Xbox, ever. They've always been a PlayStation thing, like pretty much predominantly PlayStation. And they're older now. So obviously Microsoft paid them to have those come through. Sometimes they'll have a deal where like I feel like I've read where like if it's a brand new game coming out, I think it's if either you add to a library or you download it, they kind of count those, and some will make like a certain amount per that, the publisher, whatever. Yeah, so it's making money. It's not making like oodles and noodles of money for Microsoft yet, but they say that they'll become profitable. They're doing the long game for this. It's not like, oh, we're trying to make all this money now. It's like we just want to get people over time, and it'll just build. Like how Netflix first started. Yeah, it was like, okay, cool, we can watch whatever show, whatever, and then now it's just like.
Now it's Netflix. I mean, and now everybody's doing it. I think Sony will have to follow suit eventually.
I don't think they have to really follow suit.
Not to the extreme.
So long as they have their office in,
yeah,
and Parks and Rec. They cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. And they started to release their stuff on PC too, so they're getting a little extra money from there. So
that too.
They saw the PC. Like, we'll get this extra money as well.
Yeah,
but you guys don't think they'll be pushed to not to, like I said, not like a day one thing, not a day one thing, not a day one. I don't think they'll be pushed that far, not yet at least. Like Microsoft would have to make a big jump, but just to like. Because even like we talked about with the premium thing, how it's really a rotating, at least the way they phrased it is like a rotating library, not a growing one. So it's like, there's always be at least 250 plus games. So it'll be 317 games, but it's never going to be more than that. It's always going to be those. And when we want to add one, we're going to take something out.
Oh, okay.
And like, you know what I mean? Game Pass is just like, no, don't get me wrong. There are some games that do kind of go in and out, but those are normally your bigger titles that were probably always intended, hey, we're going to do a 2-year deal or a year deal or 6 months or whatever. Yeah. And it'll be here versus the majority of like, especially like the smaller games, the little indie games, stuff like that you just may want to randomly download as you're scrolling. Those games, they just there like forever. Whereas with Sony, those leave. Like they've been taken off of PlayStation. Now, if not enough people are playing them or trying them out, like I hate seeing this is going. Like it seems like Xbox has a few of those here and there, but it seems like Sony has it way more often. I don't know. Maybe I'm being hypercritical though.
I mean, I think Sony is fine with what they're doing right now. I mean, they have a lot of the same third party stuff Xbox does have, but they also have their first party. I don't think their first party 100% sells their console, but it's usually something that's like, okay, I'm looking forward to the 2 or 3 games that they make. You got Insomniac on Spider-Man duties, I like to call it, or Ratchet and Clank stuff. Naughty Dog's gonna keep doing those games, and then Santa Monica got God of War down, and whoever else is doing whatever else, they got those games coming. So, but yeah, the Starfield gameplay looked good. Definitely rough around the edges here and there, but I think that's why the 2023 delay happened. So yeah, we know it's coming in 2023, the first half. Okay, so this one was pretty surprising. They showed Hollow Knight Silksong, which is a highly anticipated indie game. I'm sure some of our listeners that are more privy into the gaming scene, you probably know what game this is. It's been by a really small team, but this is the first time there's a brand new trailer anywhere for like 3+ years, or something like that. And they said it's coming to Game Pass. That's all they said. Didn't give a release date, which sucks, but I think it's going to be sometime in the next year. So at the latest June next year. So that's cool.
They said everything they showed today apparently is coming within a year. So,
which is nice. Yeah.
That was good to see. I was happy for that.
That's nice. Yeah, I do like that. That's good. Redfall. So they opened the show. Why did they order this article like this? It doesn't matter. Kotaku's weird. Redfall. They opened the showcase with this. This is one of the games that I really liked from last year at that time, the E3 time or whatever. And this had gameplay. So this looks to me like it looks like a looter shooter, but you're shooting vampires and stuff. And each character has certain abilities. That's kind of what it looks like to me. And it's done by Arcane. Prey and Dishonored devs. You already know. So it's gonna be a good time. It also got pushed back to first half of next year. So that's cool. Looking forward to more of that. They showed Forza Motorsport. That's just what they're calling it. I mean, it's pretty much Forza Motorsport 8.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, this is the heavy. This is pretty much like Xbox's Gran Turismo. The graphics and stuff look pretty crazy. It looked great. But the only thing I was like a tough pill to swallow. This is also in 2023. I definitely thought this was coming out this fall, but it is what it is. Yeah. But it looked great. Looked like they're really like cranking up the graphics and the technical features and stuff. They kept talking about ray tracing and all that. So the fancy reflection. So it looks good. I mean, I like the more arcadey side of Forza Horizon. So I'll probably stick with that. But whenever this drops, I might give it a whirl and see how it looks and plays and stuff. But speaking of Forza Horizon 5, they showed out with the expansion. It's got the Hot Wheels, all the little orange tracks everywhere in parts of Mexico. This looks dope.
In the sky and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the sky. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be in it.
Sign me up.
You'll have me a busy month.
Look, I got the base game free on Game Pass. So tell me what the DLC costs. I'll pay it. Can't be more than $40. I'll pay it
too. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like 30, 40.
40 can't be more than that. Mm-hmm. And if they bless us and it's free with Game Pass, Hey yo,
if they do that, then that's crazy.
I might get an I Love Xbox shirt or something like.
All right,
wear it every pod.
All right,
every pod. I love Microsoft.
Xbox cool, but don't.
Hail Bill Gates. Hail Bill Gates.
He's not even.
Bill Gates.
He's not even president no more.
So.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. But but yeah, the Hot Wheels expansion for Forza Horizon 5 is coming July 19th. So literally like 5 weeks from now.
Yep.
That looks dope. Can't wait. Naraka Blade Point. I actually forgot this game existed, but so this was it looks like it's gonna come to Xbox, so it's gonna be on consoles. Oh, next week. Or not next week, in 2 weeks, June 23rd. Okay. It's basically a battle royale, but instead of like shooting everything, it's like a third-person action battle royale type game.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's a little different like that. I want to say it's made by like a Chinese dev. Don't quote me on that. But it's free, it's battle royale. It's free to play right now on PC, but it's coming to Xbox June 23rd. We'll have crossplay. Oh, we'll launch with a campaign. I actually didn't know that. That's new. That's cool. I didn't know it's have single player content. That's not bad. Obsidian, who made, was it Fallout New Vegas years ago? They made The Outer Worlds, and they have this other game out called Grounded, which we'll talk about that later too. They announced a brand new game called Pentiment. It looks like a adventure game with like detective stuff and whatnot. It's kind of got like this kind of hand painted look. Me personally, I wasn't really vibing with the art style, but it's something different. It's unique. So it's coming out in November. That's all they said. But there's a gameplay video of it. But again, back to Grounded. Grounded is basically a first-person survival game, but it's the premise of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and you're a bunch of you're like these teenage kids or whatever, or kids, and you're like really small, and you're in a backyard. So the blades of grass are fucking huge, and you like walk around, you survive, and there's these bugs you have to fight. Yes, there are spiders. It's been in early access for a while now, at least a year or two. So it's been out for a minute, but it looks like the 1.0 version comes out in September. Didn't give a specific date. I think that's it. I think it's just they made tweaks over time. I don't really follow the game, but when it first came out, there's a little bit of buzz. Definitely a little bit different. So if you still have nostalgia for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids from the 90s and like survival games, check it out. Okay, so it's probably one of the big ones. I just talked about it, but Persona 3, all these words. Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal are all coming to Xbox, which is wild. They're all coming to Game Pass as well. This is the first time all these games have left, well, except for Persona 4, that's on PC now. But this is the first time all these have left PlayStation console ever. So that's a big deal. Phil definitely cut a check and gave him a bag over there at Atlas Sega, and they're like, okay, fine, we'll do this. Persona 5 Royal is coming out October 21st this year, and then the other two will come out sometime next year. Didn't give a date, but that's pretty cool regardless. Shout out to them, Persona on Xbox. Really stylish RPGs, basically. Really stylish RPGs. So Hideo Kojima literally just they literally had him up there and he said, hey guys, I'm making a game exclusively for Xbox. It's gonna use cloud tech. Peace. That's literally all he said. No, like that's he just like, I flew on the plane and said, hi, I'm making an Xbox game later. That's literally what happened. There's rumors the game is gonna be called Overdose, some other horror-esque game or something like that, but that's just rumors. But yeah, we don't know anything else about that. He just said that and peaced out, and that's it. So yeah, who knows when that's coming out? Who knows? But
what it will be.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
I forgot this game was a thing. A Plague Tale Requiem looks like a third-person action stealth adventure game type. Action stealth adventure type game. It's a visually nice looking game. But it's also it's like plague times in that part of Europe. So there's like rat famine and stuff everywhere. So it's kind of grimy like that. A grimier type of game. It's coming out this year. That's all we know. Just a new trailer they showed for gameplay. Okay, here we go. This one of the games actually was probably one of my favorites they showed, the new stuff. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. It's like a third-person action game. It has like a black woman, or at least a woman of color. I'm going to just say black woman unless someone corrects me. Plays a black woman, and she can like jump around acrobatically and use like axes and swords and stuff like that. And you fight all these animals. These look cool. Just look fun. It's coming out next year, 2023. Nothing more than that. But I do recommend checking out the trailer. It looks cool. It's called Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. Scorn is a horror game that's extremely gross looking. Did not like that at all. All these weird guts and body. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. But if that's your bag and you love disgusting, gross horror stuff, it's coming out October 21st this year. Apparently this says based on the psychologically devastating artwork of H.R. How do you say that? Giger? Giger. Yeah.
I was like, the way you pronounced that was a little bit on the line there.
Yeah, man.
Man's gonna have to change his last name.
No.
Or hers. I don't know who that was.
Yeah, it's too late now. If you look at it, you're right. I mean, it's G-I-G. Hands up. I'm just reading what's on the page.
Yeah, I ain't picked my last name, man. I was here when I got here, man. I don't know.
This game is disgusting.
You're looking at it, right?
Oh,
I remember seeing this.
Yeah, they showed this somewhere else. I don't remember where.
They showed this. They showed a preview of this when they purchased the studio that makes this. They were showing a showcase of all the studios that they purchased.
Oh yeah.
This
I forgot they showed
this. This is one of them. Yeah.
Oh shit. It is.
I didn't think about that at all. Damn. Look at you with the memory.
Yeah, I like when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I remember this, but I just couldn't remember where I saw it.
Yeah, this is freaking disgusting.
It's a gross game. Yeah. Well, HRGIGER, that person. If you're familiar with their artwork, then check that game out, I guess. They showed Flight Simulator. All they really showed is that it's gonna get the Pelican ship from Halo. The ship that they always, whatever.
So it's Flight Simulator, but it's Halo, like there's a Halo theme.
Yeah.
I thought it was. Okay.
For a second when I was watching it,
you thought it was Halo Flight Simulator too?
I did. I was confused.
Okay,
I was like,
yeah.
Huh? So I heard the
I'm not stupid by myself. I was like, yo, they doing a whole Halo Flight Simulator?
They showed them fly into space, and I was like, "Wait, what is this?" This is not the
I was like, "What?"
I'm looking for. Yeah,
I was very taken aback.
Yeah, it's cool. These games just visual spectacles. Everything is photorealistic now. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. Actually, you should. Yeah. What was I gonna say about this? Oh, they said that the Pelican from Halo is in today as a free content update. Oh, and it's also getting it's getting like other things like helicopters and like the plane with like the little things where you can like the water planes. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
They're adding different kind of aircrafts in addition to the Pelican stuff. So yeah. Overwatch 2. Okay, yes, Overwatch 2, they announced it's coming out this fall. Well, yeah, October 4th. It's gonna be free to play, which is new. Yeah, so that's cool. It's gonna be out on everything, but for the Xbox shows, what they showed. I don't know. I guess this will be on Game Pass. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be on Game. I mean, it's free to play, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
right?
It's free to play anyway, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, they showed no trailer there, and they showed off a new character. They don't say it here. I forgot what their name is, but it's a new character you can play as in the game. Yeah. Hopefully, Overwatch gets back into the limelight. But Blizzard's still some slimy motherfuckers. We don't forget around here. What was this? Aura History Untold. It looks like a civilization type game, a strategy game. I'm the wrong person to talk about strategy games, to be honest. If it looks like you can zoom in and out and you see a bunch of tiny people walking across land masses, I just assume they're all the same.
Yeah. Check
that's all I think, bro. But I mean, it looks like
some of them, but they get too like deep nowadays, bro. Like the amount of shit you have to manage. I be complaining about like Destiny and like some RPGs, like a lot of the Bethesda RPGs, how deep those can get sometimes. Mm-hmm. But them Civ games now, bro, like, yeah, bro, the way they get, you might be lost in in the tutorial. Like if you not really keeping up, you're already behind, bro.
You got to manage the type of water to supply.
I couldn't deal with that, man. I'm sorry. It's not my thing.
Give me the mobile version of Civilization games where it's just like, did you make a shop and then you make enough money in 2 hours? Just give me that.
Farmville, yo. Give me Farmville.
Yeah, facts. give me Farmville Civilizations, man. I don't want none of that extra fancy
Farmville Civilization. Did they really have that back then?
No, I just made that.
You just made it up? That sounds like
Farmville's real. Obviously, I don't know.
Well, I know No, I was asking because I was like,
if they had Farmville Civilizations for real. No.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that doesn't exist. I don't.
I knew Farmville had its time, and it was just like the thing on Facebook, and I was like,
Farmville was a moment, man.
It was, man. It was. So yeah, Aura History Untold. Oh shit, did they even say when this is coming out? Is this out now? I don't know. It doesn't say when this is coming out, but it's going to be on PC. It's going to be PC Game Pass. It's not going to be console, so that's one of the few that's just going to PC Game Pass. Okay, so this is going to be these next few are the parts where if you ask people online why they may not have liked the Xbox Showcase, these will be why. So Elder Scrolls Online, which every year I forget exists until these live streams. They're having a new right,
like game.
People are playing. That's why they keep getting expansions. Yeah. So Elder Scrolls Online is getting some expansion called the High Isle. I guess it looks like it's not Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's like, I don't know, like in the castles and riverbanks and stuff. So it's coming out June 21st. So in a week or so for Xbox and PC. Good for them. Good for them. Fallout 76 is getting an update. I know there's a
Speaking of games that are getting updates, even though they have no player base.
I think it does have a player base, but I think it's just really small.
Player base.
It's got to be like 100 people.
We might. Yeah, I'm like, we're using that word very, very loosely.
People that play that turn the game on once every 6 months. Player base.
Player base is this? Yeah. Okay, sure.
This looks wild. They tell this is getting a Pittsburgh expansion. That doesn't even. Does that excite you?
No, I always wanted to go to Pittsburgh. Yo, Steelers fans don't even say that shit. Stop this.
Listeners that are from Pittsburgh, it's no shade. It
is shade. It's always 100% shade.
Shade to Philly.
Well,
would you have been excited if this was Philly?
Facts. Philly got interesting shit in it.
Yeah, I don't know it's in Pittsburgh except for steel
and trees.
And trees.
Mad trees.
And old abandoned steel mines. That's Pittsburgh.
Oh, you know what? In the game, they call Pittsburgh the Pit with 2 T's.
Oh,
it's set in the Pit, which is Fallout Universe's version of Pittsburgh. That's funny. All right, well, this is coming out for all 76 players playing this game.
All 76 of y'all.
It's too easy, bro. It's such an easy joke. It's coming out in September. If you play this, please tell us in the comments or something. Hit us up on Twitter. I gotta know. Please tell me if I'm bugging or we're bugging.
No, we're not bugging. Nobody's playing that shit. It's bullshit. It's the worst Fallout ever. They fucked up. They were wrong.
Yeah, not wrong.
Let me know when Fallout 5 come out, man.
Yeah.
Fallout 5.
Hit us then. That's if I'm gonna invest in anything, it's gonna be that.
All right. Well, speaking of games that do seem to actually have is fairly popular. Sea of Thieves is getting a season 7, which
fair.
The game has been out for a long time, and it's definitely it's found this audience. It's actually pretty popular on Twitch. It's a popular.
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll give it up for Rare. They gave up on the Bear and Bird years ago, but at least they found their bag with this. We saw them do they're in their Connect Sports era back in the day. But yeah, okay. So season 7, you can customize your ship. You can save ship loadouts. You can name your ship. Okay. Season 7 launches July 21st. Whoop, there it is. Diablo 4. I'm
Diablo
not really...
Destiny, you mean?
Yes, so man.
It's Diablo Destiny, bro.
I guess so, man. I don't know nothing about Diablo except
it's Diablo Destiny, bro.
Things.
It's Diablo.
I know
I'm in.
Man, love comparing stuff to Destiny.
No,
man.
Ian. No, Ian.
These games are out before Destiny.
I know that, but this iteration of Diablo is Diablo Destiny.
It's
kind of nasty.
You're looting. You're
looting. You got all the different. They adding all. Don't get me wrong. Destiny is not the first game to make dungeons, but you could just tell by the way they're talking about the game loop. It's like, oh, you've made your game loop the Destiny game loop. I'm not talking about the core principles of the game. I know that games have had those things.
Destiny has influence on a lot of shit. So yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. When I saw it, I was like, okay, this is Diablo, right? Then they revealed a new class named the Necromancer. It's coming out. It's coming out everywhere, honestly. But for Xbox, it's coming out on, I guess, Game Pass. It'll be on Game Pass. Oh yeah, because they're gonna own them soon. Sorry.
Oh well, yeah.
It's Blizzard, grimy motherfuckers. But yeah, it's coming out next year. If you get into Diablo 4, there you go. Woo, there you go. Lightyear Frontier. That's a rhyme. It's a robot farming game First-person farming, crafting game. You try and supply on the exoplanet. Come on next year. Very vibrant-looking game. That's all I can really say about it. So that's that. Cocoon. Did I even see this?
I did, but it didn't. It's one of those games that's like that doesn't interest me.
This list is much longer than I thought it was going to be. All right, let me speed this up a bit. So Cocoon is it's made by one of the people that did Limbo. Interesting. All right,
one of those you pick it up because it's on Game Pass. For me. Let
me skim through this trailer real quick. I must have missed this. Oh, this game. No, I've seen this. It's a top-down type of a game. Gotcha. Okay. It's published by Annapurna. They like their art styles like this. It'll probably be good. It'll probably be a good game. I think just next year. It's gonna come out next year on Game Pass. The Last Case of Benedict Fox. It's like a side-scrolling platformer type game. It's coming out next year. Dude look like old buddy from the Monkey Island games, but he has like these little Cthulhu monster persona things. It's coming out next year. It's a brand new thing. Ravenlock. What is this?
Yeah, that one looked weird. Not weird, but different.
Is this the game where there's a no, never mind. It's like it's a turn-based RPG. Someone said this site says an unmistakable Stranger Things vibe. Really? Did that give you guys a Stranger Things vibe if you remember it?
Raven. Oh, I guess I kind of understand what they're saying. I guess I kind of get it. I don't know. I think anything that like kind of
features kids and
any sort of horror situation is gonna get that comparison. Similar to y'all saying I compare everything to Destiny.
Well,
if it's got some couple elements, I'm gonna say it's exactly like it. So I think it sounds similar with Stranger Things. It's hot, so we're gonna compare it to that because it's a selling title name. Hey, you want to play a Stranger Things video game that doesn't say Stranger Things? We made that.
Oh, damn, there's still quite a few things to go through. Okay, so As Dusk Falls is like a story, adventure, narrative-based game. It's coming out July 19th for Xbox and PC. Oh, it's multiplayer. Up to 8 people. Okay. It's going to be on Game Pass. It's being made. Who's it being made by? I forgot. But it's a narrative-based game. There's a stealth action game called Ereban Shadow Legacy. I thought that looked cool. It's like this chick where she can like be stealthy and stuff, but she can also move into like the shadows and like she can jump into the shadows on some what's his name from Naruto. Well, no, that's not it. Yeah, on some Shikamaru stuff. I would say that kind of like that. That looked cool. It's coming out next year. Gunfire Reborn. Is this the game with the cats? Yes, it is. It's a cartoony game where you're like gunslinging cats or whatever.
Gunslinging cats. Okay.
Yes. It's kind of cel shaded.
I don't think I saw this one.
I saw it, but it was like kind of a quick thing. It's a first-person shooter. Oh, it's coming out this year. I didn't know that. It's coming to Xbox and PC in October.
Yeah, there's some birds in there too.
Oh, my bad. Birds. Whoops.
Angry Birds?
They're about to be angry. Oh, wow. Oh, this is way more cel shaded than I thought it was going to be. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that's like Borderlands aesthetic, but like if the cel shading was even bolder and simpler, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I think it could be an all right time. You know what I'm saying? It could be an all right time. Am I saying this right? Wulong Fallen Dynasty. This was just CGI trailer, but it's the next game by Koei Tecmo. Looks like gonna be hunting dragons. I don't know if it's like gonna be like Neo, which those games play similar to Dark Souls, or if it's just straight up an action game. It's coming out early next year. I don't know why I didn't show gameplay, but all right. The CG trailer looked nice, but you know that's that. Oh god, Minecraft Legends.
Yeah. Is it Minecraft strategy game or something like that?
Something like that. Is a dungeon crawling. No, I'm reading action strategy game.
Action strategy. That's what it is.
I was surprised when they show the CG part of the trailer and then it cuts to gameplay. It also has a slight cell shaded look to it. Like it's still blocky like Minecraft, but that's a cell shaded look. So that kind of surprised me. I didn't expect that. But yeah, that's coming out early next year. I'm guessing it's coming from the same people that did Minecraft.
The original game.
Dungeon, whatever that other one was called. Not the main one, obviously, but anyway. Oh wait, this is the weird ass game. Oh my god. One of the creators for Rick and Morty. It's called High on Life. It's like you have the guns that faces on the back talking to you. That is the weirdest shit I've seen in a long time. It was weird.
Yeah, I didn't understand what I was watching with that. Yeah.
That was weird as hell. Definitely a game where, like, if you just go by your homeboy or whoever's crib and you see them playing that, you're gonna ask questions.
It's everything.
I don't hate it though. It's weird. Sometimes weird can be good. Right. It has whoever voices Morty. He was like a.
Yeah. I thought so. I was like, why does it sound so familiar? I'm like, that's what it was. Yeah. Okay. Nice. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about it being the same guy. I was like, yo, they found somebody with a very similar voice to that. That's very odd.
Yeah. I'm guessing if you like Rick and Morty, you should probably at least keep your eye on this. It's called High on Life. It's coming out in October. Wow, there's more things coming out this year than I thought. October for Xbox and PC. This is such a weird thing. I don't know, man. If I remember, I might download this and look at and check it out.
It'll pop up on your coming to Game Pass soon.
It will. It's just so weird looking. Like I feel compelled to at least give it one try and be like, what is going on?
Before I play Sunset Overdrive.
I still gotta play that. There's so many years I've been saying that. Arc 2.
Oh yeah.
Vin Diesel's in this game, apparently. It's coming out next year. It's gonna launch on Game Pass. Basically, it's a first-person survival game with lots and lots of dinosaurs. Not on some Jurassic Park shit, but like we coexist with the dinosaurs on this world type shit. That's pretty much what it is. That's next year. One of the big ones. Actually, I think it's the last thing. Yeah, the last thing. It's a big deal for folks that are aware of Riot Games. They make probably all the most popular PC games right now. League of Legends, the MOBA, Legends of Runeterra, that card game, Teamfight Tactics. I forgot what that is, but that's, it's one of those. And Valorant, which is like a Overwatch, Counter-Strike type game.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently all these games are going to come to Game Pass next year on PC, but you'll have all the characters or whatever in each game unlocked automatically, which is a big deal because all these games are free to play. But if you want to get into all the characters, you're going to go into your wallet for a good bit, not including skins, but that's pretty good. I think that's a big deal.
So you get all the characters unlocked without having to go into your wallet.
Yes.
That's dope.
That's actually fire. So I think whenever all these start popping up on Game Pass PC, the number's about to go up for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the Xbox showcase. Overall, I think it was good. Lots of gameplay. Happy to see that. I feel like it was a bit long in the tooth, or at least it felt long in the tooth. Maybe less updates on existing things, and outside Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels, we need to know that. But everything else, he probably could have kept that. What y'all think of the Xbox stuff overall compared to previous stuff? What they got coming up now?
Very solid.
Yeah, it was solid.
Very solid.
Yeah,
cool.
There were some that had a cinematic trailer, then right afterwards it said, "Here's some gameplay."
Yeah, and that's what I like to see. That's what the doctor ordered. There you go.
100%. Gotta love that.
This High on Life game is crazy.
It is wild, right? Like it's just like, this looks too zany. I think I might give it a try. That's
kind of where I'm at with it.
It's so weird. The guns talk to you.
Yeah,
that's just very weird.
I would like to know whose brain that came out of.
One of the dudes that made Rick and Morty. Like, that's literally what it said.
Oh, nice.
That show got random
definitely feels like
shit
that.
in it.
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense.
This feels like it exists in their universe.
They might tie it in. They might go crazy.
Tied to that somehow.
Yeah, they might go crazy.
Yeah, that could be dope.
They might mention like the next season or whatever.
Yep. All right, man. Now it's time for the spoilers section.
Spoilers. We about to spoil some shit, cuz.
Facts. Obi-Wan Kenobi, episode 4. This episode, I was hoping it was a little bit of the turning point from the last episode with some of the decisions we saw make. I was hoping that was kind of the end of it, that a lot of those decisions were just, we want to move the story along faster. And, maybe they had more context to things, but they didn't want to drag it along. No, that wasn't the case. They just make some terrible writing decisions, unfortunately. Now, obviously, with the racism that exists in the Star Wars fan base, you're going to get a lot of that hate being pushed towards the actress and actors instead of the people putting the actors in those positions, right? Because as mad as you want to be, even if the actor did do a bad job, right? A director still said, okay, right? A producer, like other people still said, yeah, what you just did there was fine. We'll take that and we'll move forward with it. So even if an actor did bad, they obviously didn't do bad enough that they needed to be recast or whatever, right? Because I always consider, you say they did bad. Well, how much worse was everybody else that they didn't change the person then? You know what I mean? Like, if they were that bad, like, come on, there's got to be something they do well or something they've done right. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, unless you're talking about like, some producer's kid or something like that, but
that's crazy.
This show, basically this episode, Leia gets taken back to the Inquisitor home base. She's held there. They sneak back in, obviously, because Tala still has her stuff. And I'm trying to remember how they knew where she was going. Don't really know. Regardless, though, they follow her back over there. And Tala pretty much walks through the front door, gets right to her desk. She good. Which, I you know what it is? Tala isn't being put, her situations don't seem as straight up, but she's getting a lot of easy rides too, through certain situations, because I would think more people in the Empire would be a little curious of this random lady who walked in. Yes, she's wearing all Imperial yada, 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 but she's also just like talking into her hand, into her fist. Like often
right next to
the nigga,
other people.
Nah, but his job is that.
That's wild.
He looked at her like
he's so focused on work that he like, she doing some bullshit, but that ain't got nothing to do with me, man. I got these reports, I got these tickets to get through, man.
That's above my pay grade, I'm sure.
Facts. That's a Vader problem, bro. That don't sound like
a Vader situation.
That don't sound like a lieutenant type issue. You know what I mean? That sound like one of them high-ranking nigga issues. So, So, anyways, Tala got a bit of easy ride through this as well. And we get to see pretty much our first contention point of the episode. As I'm kind of obviously speeding along through certain points, but Reva kind of interrogating Leia, giving us a little bit of her backstory as well. So, talking about how she was tortured and everything was taken from her, and she says she used to have a droid and yada yada yada. And so that was pretty crazy to kind of hear some of her backstory. And there was a moment where this is where I think her acting was really good. There's a moment where you almost felt like she had a little bit of compassion for Leia. Like she almost felt a little bad. Like even though as much as she's willing to do whatever to reach her goals, and she doesn't care who she hurts or whatever, she doesn't care if she kills Leia in the process, I guess. You could see in her acting, you could almost see a little bit of the compassion of, I really don't want to have to do this to this kid. But you forced in my hand in her case. Now, our point of contention was the kid forcing her hand. What did Leia know about the rebellion that Reva thought she could pull out of this 10-year-old child who was kidnapped? And this is the only reason she even know the rebellion exists. She's the daughter of a senator, right? She doesn't know the rebellion even exists until now. So it's an odd, it's an odd situation for us to kind of be in and have to, read, try to navigate through, because she's just, why are you going this hard at a child? She's 10, and the only reason she knows any of this is happening is because you ordered her kidnapping. Like, it's very odd. It's just, it makes no narrative sense whatsoever. Yes, she walked down a pathway that the rebel people, the path people sent her down. That doesn't mean she knows every inner working of a galaxy. She's 10, bro. Even if they told her every tunnel, do you think it'd be in her brain clear enough for you to pull it out? Like it just never made sense. And I let her get away with that mind reading thing when she did it to the fake Jedi dude in like episode 2 or whatever. But this just, I get it. Like the Sith and the Sith affiliates are cruel to anybody to get their way or to get what they want, but it just felt
kind of drove it home a little too hard, I guess.
Yeah, it was like, okay, man, I get it. You okay. I even understand, even though it's extreme, you stole the senator's daughter to draw this man out. Okay. But bro, what does she know about the rebellion? It just doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense for her to have gone that long. And then I got a bit confused. And I might need to rewatch the episode, so don't hold me to this. Maybe by the time this comes out, the next time we're recording, I'll have fixed this already. But when she puts the tracker, when she's with Leia and Lola, who's the droid, when she puts the tracker on Lola, she doesn't know Obi-Wan's alive still. No, yeah, I don't know if
I'm sure she knows that Obi-Wan's alive. Maybe she was just telling Leia that he was dead to scare tactic type of deal. Oh, nobody's coming for you. You might as well tell me what's up.
So that was the thing. She started. So I get that, right? She was lying to Leia about Obi-Wan being dead because she wasn't sure if Obi-Wan was dead, but she had a feeling because she was like, well, Vader was there with him, right? I don't know if Vader told her he had got away still or whatever, but either way, they took it to the Inquisitor homeworld, right? The key thing of that is who would be stupid enough to try to attack the Inquisitor homeworld and think they're going to make it off alive, right? Obviously, it's a TV show, so we can make that happen, but that makes no sense, right? So I have full confidence that no one's coming to get you. So when I'm telling you that, I'm saying that fully. When I'm telling you that he's going to die and all this stuff, that's fine too. But you're telling me that she actually believed Obi-Wan would try to break into the Fortress Inquisitorius, retrieve Leia and the droid, and she allowed all of that to happen instead of just trapping and killing Obi-Wan somewhere inside, because she wanted to put a tracker on Lola because she thinks this 10-year-old is going to lead them back to the rest of the path. Now, obviously, if they go back to like one or two specific places, yeah, like they're going to find a big stronghold area or whatever. But what if they like go dark? By the time you get to the first one, they've cut all the other networks and stuff off. They can set up a home base somewhere else once they realize there's a tracker. Like, it's not like you're going to come in, find one place, and then that is going to break down everything. Like, they're clearly willing to die. They're fighting against something. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So it's like, how did you know to put this tracker on her before? Like, and because the idea was, if she told you everything, let's say she broke and told you everything, you're going to track her back home to make sure she's at the castle. Back on her planet, Alderaan, I think is where she's from. It did make sense. Yeah, man. I don't. I don't know. I didn't get it.
That whole I put the tracker on the 4D chess play that definitely felt like something out of Young Justice.
Obi-Wan is feeling like Young Justice right now.
It felt like,
Oh no, I let them escape because
you let them escape.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna kill you anyway. And now tell the rest of these niggas, hey, don't ever let them escape again. I don't give a fuck what you did. Fuck that plan. When that nigga here at our home base, we win. What you mean? That nigga just captured the flag and dipped. What are you talking about? You tracked him. No. Come on, bro. You kidnapped the whole senator's daughter to get this man here. You got him here on our turf and lost? Nah, bro, you got it. Hey, force choke her into space. Send her out. Launch her. She gone. She done so. What are you talking about? I don't know, man. Vader showing restraint there really made no sense to me. But And also they power scaled her right there because she didn't even like slightly be able to resist Vader like at all. Like she killed the Grand Inquisitor. She did all that shit. And Vader just half lift his hand and she in the air choking. Like she ain't got no kind of fight. She ain't got
power scaled.
She ain't got that dog in her. That's the problem. She ain't got that dog.
Vader dog in her.
Nah, bro. Listen, I do get it. It's Vader. I get it. But what they're allowing her to do and get away with.
You think there's an uproar with her before if she was able to resist Vader?
Oh, well, yeah. But I'm just saying the character you're trying to create, I feel like she should have put up some resistance. I'm not saying stop him. I'm not saying draw her lightsaber and start dueling Darth Vader. Like, I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying, yo, I can hold my feet on the ground a little bit for a couple of seconds at first or something. Like, I'm resisting, like, hold on, nigga, like, hear me out or something type shit first. Like, she didn't do that. She just legs dangling, done. Like, yeah, talk. Like,
she barely got the words up.
She's like, I let him escape. I'm like, what? You bugging. So yeah, that was cool. And then obviously, like, one of the coolest moments of the episode was, I say coolest moments, but like a little horror moment type thing. You got to see all the encased. Do
you recognize any of those people?
Huh? No, I didn't.
Okay.
I mean, people were saying some of them were from Clone Wars and stuff like that, and they probably are. But I started watching Clone Wars so long ago now that I honestly, they probably did show up, have names and everything. And if you were to like show it to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's clearly who that is. But I don't. I can't say, and I'm not the person who's going to try to dig back through every Clone Wars episode to find every Jedi's name and then try to match them up. Somebody with more time and who's more Jedi Star Wars knowledge sure can just like that. But you know, it was pretty cool. I won't just for Gerard's sake, I won't say everything that's there because there's a couple moments that are like, ooh, with some of them. But okay, even though I don't know names, so some of them are pretty cool. And that's more or less the gist of the episode. You know, they get off. And the other stupid moment. The other stupid moment is when Buddy got smoked. One of the pilots that helps save the whole situation. He's shooting at Reva from his ship, which made some sense. Okay. He gets mad close. And I'm not going to lie. From the first time we met him last episode 3, I said one of them is going to die. One of them is going to die at some point. I don't know when, but one of them is not making it. And when he started shooting all mad close, I was like, yeah, he's not going to make it. Because right now, he's close enough for Reva to should be able to force pull him in yeah. And just crush the ship or something, right? She should be able to crush her wing at least. She doesn't do that though, right? Like the obvious thing, she doesn't do that. She does the Force Unleashed thing where she just grabs a little explodey cart and chucks it at the flying plane and it goes down. And if I was the actor who played that guy, I would have said, yo, y'all not killing me like this. You're not killing me like this. You're not doing that to me. Yes, I want to be in Star Wars. Not this bad. No, you're not killing me like this.
We don't know if he's dead or not, man. He fell in the water.
Do we see a body?
Yeah. Okay, but this isn't Young Justice. This is they really killing niggas here.
Did we see a body?
They really killing niggas.
See a body.
Well, I don't know, man.
Is that a methane ocean?
Okay, listen. Here's his options. Let's say he survives the thing, right? And he washes up somewhere. He's still in a Sith like he's in a Sith solar system. Like he's fucked. He's fucked anyway. He's in Mustafar. Oh. Like Vader got a home planet here. He done so. Even if he makes it somewhere, they killing him the second they see him. And if he somehow makes it off planet, he still has to make it outside of the system he's in. Yeah,
well, if this episode has showed us anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
Yo, if Wade makes it back in episode 6, Ian, let me tell y'all something. This is going to be a different review. I'll tell you that. Boy, I'll tell you if that nigga show up.
Oh, man.
Nah, guys, I swam and you didn't know I had a TVA ring that let me like
fewer things were predicted in television shows.
No, I'm Wade from the multiverse. Actually,
I'm Wade from the multiverse.
I'm Wade from the multiverse.
My good friend Kang gave me this.
My good friend Kang.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is, how they're exactly going about it, but they've made some interesting decisions here. That dude didn't have to die, and she did not have to kill him in this video game ass way. I get it. In the video game, it's hard to do the force pull and make us really feel it. I think with the PS5, actually, it would be really cool. Yeah, to really feel the force pull of like pulling a ship back and crushing like a wing or something like that, to try to feel it in the controller. That'd be really, really, really dope. We could do some cool shit like that. But they did the Force Unleashed. I'm gonna throw the explosive crate and knock your wing out. Like it didn't look good. So I'm really, really hoping that a lot of the budget was saved for these last 2 episodes, that a lot of the very clever writing was saved for these last 2 episodes. Somehow they're going to tie this up decently. If Young Justice could do it, I mean, anybody can, but
did this get a season 2?
They didn't confirm it. It's been rumored.
The way it's sounding, though, looks like it's likely.
They probably need one to clear up some of the bullshit.
Yeah,
and flesh a little more of this out. Because, I mean, we're on episode 4 and the Grand Inquisitor's still dead. Allegedly. So, but you know what? They can't bring the Grand Inquisitor back and not bring Wade back. So they both got to come back, man.
This show doing so much. Much. There's only 2 episodes left.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want people to know that it's more writing than any acting I've seen. I think pretty much almost every scene. I don't think I could blame anything on the actors. Even Leia, you might not like her character; she's annoying, but she's doing what she was wrote to do.
Like, I don't know, man.
What about her acting?
She's a child, though. But
what about her acting annoys you?
She reminds me of feels like something that should be in Raising Dion, you know. Her acting it's not mature yet, and you know.
I see what you mean by that.
No, I need a little more depth. I need to understand, like what exactly are you seeing that she's like that's not like she needs to be more mature to understand this, or like what are you not seeing?
Her reactions to certain things aren't as good as I would like them to be. Like even the whole scene, I mean, there were some glimpses of really good acting with her scene with Reba, but ultimately it wasn't as, I didn't believe that she was, in any danger. It felt like she didn't believe it either at some points.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I get that. That's fair. I get what you're saying. I can see that. I mean, I guess I kind of write that off. She's and
that's why she's a kid, so I get that.
But I do see what you're saying. I also think they might be in a position, as these kids age and stuff like that. We might see her playing younger versions of Leia for a while. She might be we don't have obviously our Leia or whatever. So maybe as she grows, she'll play these different versions of Leia throughout these movies that, these different Star Wars movies we get every 2-3 years that are just kind of random out the blue.
Hey man, if Raven can get good at acting eventually, I don't
improve. In like 3 seasons or Then
again, she could be dubbed too. So,
that's also true.
We don't want another Dawn situation.
No, nobody needs that. Nobody needs that. We don't. We really need to ban that. We need to ban that name.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We never gonna have a guest named Dawn. We never gonna record at dawn. We don't wake up at dawn. We don't do shit around nothing named Dawn. Ain't no pets named Dawn.
She is just cursed.
I won't play a video game with Dawn in the title. Nothing.
Oh man.
Nothing. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Damn.
That's before.
I ain't played that new shit, so
that's it doesn't.
I didn't. Dawn wasn't pissing me off when I played the first one, so I'm gonna just go with that. I'm ride with that.
We gonna ride with that.
He was playing.
I ain't played the second one yet, and it's her fault now. Now look what she did. She had to ruin a whole video game franchise for me. Can't believe it, man. Can't believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's it with Star Wars, man. There's not much to it. I mean, we could go like scene by scene with different shit and breakdowns, but I don't know if that's really our lane or thing anymore. We're kind of doing overall reviews, hitting the big points, talking about big things. And I think that the writing is one of the main things that we're going to have to focus on and see where it goes in these last 2 episodes to even know if it's worth it to be excited for a season 2, or not to say worth it to be excited, because we could be excited because I think Ewan McGregor's a great actor. I think Hayden Christensen's a great actor. Like, I think they could do a lot in this time period, but I want to know that they hear the criticism of some of the writing and they're hearing it correctly, because if all they hear are the racist trolls that are blaming Reva for anything, that means the writers are sitting back thinking, well, it's not our fault. Well, yeah, they're racist and they're assholes and we don't agree with that, but we didn't do anything wrong. And it's like, no, y'all are the issue that's causing the racist trolls to then target them, because that's who they see, because they don't know who, Sarah Lockley is in the back writing shit. They don't know who she is. No one goes on IMDb. No one cares about you, right? But they can troll Moses Ingram because she's right in front of them. So we're just going to do that. And she's black and we already hate black people. She's an easy target.
Yeah.
So it's the writing. It's the writing. And I think it's the writing majority. I think if you clean up the writing on most of these episodes feel a lot better. Some of the decisions, I think some of the decisions they made with Leia were not what I would have done. Some of them still came off comedic and kind of work in a way, if you look at, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, I think most of that is how they wrote her character. They know the actress they have. They know what she's capable of, the emotion she's good at expressing or not. They did a whole casting process, right? So I think at some point you have to look at it and go, how are these actors in these positions? I can't be that mad at the actor for portraying the position they're in. I got to look at how they're in. Why are they in that position in the first place? Who put them there? The writers and the producers and the directors. So you got to look at that. Yeah. I think that's it for Obi-Wan. We'll definitely talk ratings and stuff at the end. But yeah, that's where we're at now. So we will see. We will see. Next and last for the day is episode 1 of Miss Marvel.
Episode 1. All right. Well, one thing I like to say is I was pleasantly surprised with this episode 1. It was very enjoyable.
Yes, it was.
Probably one of the best episode 1s of all these Marvel Disney Plus shows. One of the best. I'd have to go watch the other ones, but it's definitely up there. Top 2, maybe. Top 2, maybe.
As a first episode?
Yeah, I can see that.
It was pretty strong opening.
Yeah.
So overall, so we get introduced to Kamala Khan, played by I think the actress name is Iman Vellani, I believe. But either way,
remember the new actors and actresses right off the top.
Only because I've been seeing a lot of her interview stuff on comics Twitter. Everyone,
true.
Like the streets, the comics Twitter, they all give her the seal of approval with her because she knows her comic book shit. She's actually a comic book. She didn't say, for real. She was like the whole, Kevin Feige, Earth 616 of the MCU. No, that's wrong. It should at least be Earth 19999. I was like, oh man, comics Twitter gonna love her. But shout out to her, man. She everything she did with this character, she pretty much ate up, man. You can tell she just became that character. Really great, really bubbly, 100%. Charismatic. She's a Marvel fangirl. That's exactly how Kamala is in the comic. For the little bit I know of her character. But yeah, so far we really just get introduction to her. We get, introduction to her family, Pakistani. So it's gonna be a lot of the type of Indian type of influence of culture. That's really cool. No compromises with that. We see little comic book drawings and stuff similar to Into the Spider-Verse or Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, there's a lot of visual flourish and personality that talks about what's going on. We introduced her friend. Oh shit, what is his name? It's not
Byron. Bryson?
Bryson?
Am I making that up? Is his name not Bryson?
Was it Bruno? It's a
Bruno.
big-
Bruno.
Was it Bruno?
It's
That's
Bruno.
crazy. I remember. I've only seen the episode once.
Bryson. I'm thinking about Tiller.
Right.
Trap Soul.
But yeah, her friend also, Bruno. He's also nerd and that type of thing too, and he's like the kind of inventor stuff.
Tech guy.
The tech guy, yeah.
Everybody needs a Wade.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, they show. Yeah, so we just see
Kim Possible Wade, not the. Just to be clear,
I was curious if anyone. I was thinking Kim Possible Wade the whole time,
but only because we just spoke about a Wade in Obi-Wan. I just wanted to be clear that I wasn't making a direct.
Yeah, we gotta clarify.
Like I just had to. I just like let me. That might sound stupid to somebody. Hold on.
Good call. Yeah, shout out to Kim Possible and Wade from Kim Possible. Yeah, so pretty much this episode just kind of introduces her to her character, how she kind of, a lot of folks like teenagers or whatever, they kind of get stuck in the la la land of imagining things. And we get that visual representation with like drawings, like hand-drawn stuff popping up where she's like, oh, what if we met, had Marvel and this is the Avengers. You see you're going through school, just typical high school type thing. The whole gist of the episode, though, was her and Bruno really trying to convince. One, they're trying to go to this Avengers Con. It's like an in-universe Avengers Con, that city or whatever. And her parents are really traditional. They're just kind of like, no, Kamala, you need to focus on this and the other. Stop being head and imaginary La La Land stuff, this and the other. And yeah, so she does manage to kind of ask them to do it, but they're like, no, because it's going to be dangerous, this and the other. And she was like, oh, well, if yes, my brother asked or whatever, I can't remember her brother's name, but she has an older brother in the show.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
not even gonna try.
Yeah, I might remember episode 2 maybe, but yeah, she's like, oh, if he asks, you probably say yes, wouldn't you? Which is that's interesting because that's culture for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it's they kind of do the whole. She does the whole. We're gonna sneak out and just catch a bus there in the evening and say that I'm just in my room and that's it. And that that never goes right when you show.
I will say I love how they played out the elaborate plan. Like that was kind of like classic sitcom-ish.
Yeah,
like they play out the plan. It all goes like crazy, and yet at some point I was like, "Oh, are they doing?" I thought they were doing like the more traditional thing that they do now, where they explain the plan with you as if they're explaining it, but it's actually happening. So you're watching it happen until she jumped on that bus, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, this is happening." There's nothing about this girl has suggested she is coordinated enough to jump off a bridge onto a bus.
Right.
So I don't think that happened here. I think this is going to go a little different than she's imagining. And then, of course, so I was like, all right, perfect. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Pretty much, man. Yeah, the whole dramatization was good. Especially how she was like, oh, I'll just jump onto the tree branch and I'll just land perfect. I was like, oh, no, you're going to bust your ass. Like, either the branch going to break or you're going to slip because no one knows when they're going to grab shit. But yeah.
Funny.
Amidst of that, too, that's when she was home. She also got like a pack, or not she, but they found some stuff from other family members, some keepsake stuff, and then one of them was like this nice kind of golden bronzy type of bracelet. And then Kamala asked her mom, "Oh, what's that?" And it's like, "Oh, it's nothing you need it's nothing you really need to know about." Like she kind of was a bit more served with it just to kind of deter her from thinking about it. But the whole gist of mentioning that was because not only did they want to go to the Avengers Con, but there was a cosplay contest there. Typical stuff. Everyone cosplayed, their Marvel characters and the other. She wanted to do Captain Marvel. That's her favorite character or favorite hero. But she wanted to add her own flair, something that's like more her culture. So she got she put the bracelet on, and after some hijinks, their perfectly thought of plan did not go perfectly at all. They were behind, and times was messed up, but they did manage to go to the Avengers Con. And when she's on stage, she puts it on before she gets on stage. We kind of get this kind of interesting visual dramatization thing. Oh, dramatization. I'm using that word. This visual like thing where like she kind of saw like people as like silhouettes or souls or something. I don't know what that was
where
about.
she did the little flip thing.
Yeah, she did like the.
I'm really interested to see how they play that with the powers and how it's connected to like her past or her, not her past, but like her family history, how they've been passed down, how her family got them at all, how they've been passed down like that. That really, that's got my interest like peaked right now.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much going into this all pretty fresh. So I don't really know. I don't know what's happening, which is great. I'm it's cool to be on this side again.
I love it. I love not knowing nothing.
Yup. So yeah, and she got this little flip, and she's kind of like, whoa. She's pretty much having like a little moment there where she's kind of getting her footing. But when she's up on the stage, I think she like it. The power from it is causing her to kind of get dizzy, not so much nauseous, but kind of lightheaded. And so I think she was about to like fall back or something on stage with some of the others. And she like she throws her hand out and she actually projects like this arm, like it's like a, what do you call it? Like a jewel-esque type of
It looks
thing.
Almost like a bejeweled thing coming out. Like it looks,
It's like she's throwing a hand or whatever, or I'm still not really sure how they're gonna. I'm not really interested sure how her abilities are in this because she doesn't have the stretchy arms like that, like on some Inhuman stuff. But it looks like she can make these jeweled formations and form them into an arm or a hand, maybe
whatever she wants. She can also use them to like basically walk on air.
Yeah, make platforms.
Platforms to walk on and all that.
Yeah, so that happens, but she doesn't have any proper control, and she kind of accidentally throws it out, and it like hits up. Well, one day it hits like a thing in there, and it causes like a big commotion. And there's this huge Mjolnir hammer hanging from the ceiling, which is like, how did they get that up there? It's obviously not a real one, but it's just huge mock-up one that falls down, and like this, it causes it's like a domino effect. It causes like what was it? A head of someone. That was like
some random thing that was up there and that thing fell. It was a bunch of it just got from bad to worse.
Just that typical bad to worse sitcom type stuff almost. And it's like the thing starts rolling and it's like, everyone's like, oh no, we gotta get out, or we're gonna get crushed or blah 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 in the little area that the little con area was like in some smaller warehouse building. It's not like in a big old convention center. And this was at night too. And she was like, oh shit. And then her friend Bruno was like, yo, we gotta get up out of here. So they dip. And then she's like, what the hell is going on? And Bruno's like, yeah, what the hell is they have powers? And she's like, I guess, I don't know. But she tries to sneak back into her home, which is funny because when they had the plan, they didn't really think about that. They're just like, oh, I'll just get back, no problem.
Yeah.
But now she has this ability from the bracelet. She somehow made the platform and was able to get back up there. But as soon as she gets in, she realized, oh, it's late. And her mom is sitting right there, the typical parent waiting for the kid to come back in the room. And she's like, oh, shit. And, the mom was just like, oh, I'm disappointed. Why would you, lie to us? Blah, blah, blah. So overall, it's introduction to her character as a whole, how she interacts with folks, how she interacts with, some of her family, and how they're all kind of more normal, or not normal, just kind of like basically, it's just superhero stuff. It's just fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Where she's like, oh man, Marvel heroes can do anything. So she's kind of more of an idealist in that way. But yeah, I mean, that's really a general kind of summation of episode 1. Yeah, so it was really entertaining. It was really good. Every scene she was in, she pretty much stole it. She just was killing it at all times.
She did a great job.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. She did really well. Can't deny her that at all. She did a great job. I mean, I like you said, Gerard, we misjudged the show a little bit off the, I think we just kind of got sucked into it's CW.
I feel like the trailers,
it's our fault, but
the trailers kind of led into it.
They didn't show you the little visual flare stuff
I give you
how
that,
it'll be cut.
Also I think isn't that good though? Like wasn't it kind of like a happy surprise?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I think it was trash before. I just wasn't sure about the show based off certain.
I
just wasn't sure. I was uncertain, and some of the shots did seem kind of CW-esque at times without context. And
I don't think we were like crazy or like disrespectful or out of line for thinking that the show might not be, perfect or maybe geared towards us. I don't think we were saying the show would be bad. I think we were preparing ourselves for saying, hey, maybe this show, maybe we're not necessarily the people being considered when this show was being put together in its, final form. So some of the themes, some of the focuses we might not relate to. That doesn't mean we won't enjoy the show. It doesn't mean the show's going to suck. That doesn't mean we won't watch it. It just means that there's going to be certain things that maybe we can't comment on, or things we don't even notice, little subtle things that somebody that maybe has been in the same situation or from a similar culture can relate to closer than we can. That's literally all we were saying. That being said, the way they shot this show and put it out, it's like, yeah, like Jarrell said, like the visuals, it's all way better than I'd ever expected from them with this at all. It just seemed like they're going to be telling us this teenage girl story. Yes, she's going to get powers at some point, but it's kind of being her little coming to age story. I was expecting like a Spider-Man Homecoming, but something along those lines, but just for her story. And they kind of went above and beyond it. With Spider-Man, I feel like you just kind of expect it. With this brand new character, I just wasn't sure where they were going. But I look back at the trailer, I don't think it was like necessarily shot poorly. Not saying that that's what y'all are saying either, but I don't think it was shot like, or I don't think it was cut so bad that, like, looking back at it now, I'm like, I see glimpses of it. Maybe they could have cut it a little better so that we could have seen more of that. That could have been more of a focus without giving us spoilers.
Yeah.
But what we got, I kind of understand based on if they gave us any more, I feel like it kind of would have ruined the moment when you're, like we were talking about, like one of the big moments, we didn't really focus on it, but like one of the big moments was the text message conversation they were having as they were both like walking somewhere, getting somewhere, whatever they were doing. And the way they had the messages superimposed and coming out of the background was just so visually like captivating. I didn't really care what the characters were doing. I was mostly trying to figure out where the words were hidden behind them. Like, what is it? What are they using this time to pop the message out at me? And that was such an interesting thing to keep up with. I don't know how you portray that to us in a trailer. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't just give it away. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't just like straight up say, this is how our show's going to be. It's exactly like this. Like I even though if they were ever going to do it, this might be the time, right? And maybe we're a niche audience because obviously, like, we care maybe a little more. We want it. We have the I don't know, the desire to jump on these shows early and watch them right when they come out. So because of that, like, obviously, like, they know people like us are invested anyway. So then, since we're gonna, no matter what the trailer came out, we were always gonna kind of check it out at least. And then when we check it out, we're like, oh, this is way better than I thought. So, respect to him, man. Respect to him. Hopefully we see some of that budget come out. Oh, and I do think her powers might look different as she gains more control. Not necessarily look different, but clear up a little bit as she's like, because I think this first version is like, she's not clearly trying to make a hand, or she, you know what I mean? She's just, she just did something out of instinct. Like something happened because she was scared. As she's doing it with more control, I wonder, how that will impact how, they actually manifest, how they come out. Because I thought that Jewel look was a little weird. Like, even though we saw it in the trailers a little bit, seeing it in the actual episode felt a little weird. I want to see how that actually pulls out. So yeah, man.
It was kind of weird to see it look that way after having seen how amazing everything in the background of all the scenes were.
Yeah. You could tell like they put a little more effort into that than they did.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Not effort. I
won't say effort, more like, I feel like the budget. I just feel like the budget definitely went towards everything that was happening in the background of all the scenes.
Or, and maybe I don't want to even just blame the budget. Like, what if they just had an idea and they were like, they just have a visual artist who was like, yo, I could do that. Like, I know how to do that. I can do that. It might not be that it cost them like this ridiculous amount of money. If you have somebody who knows how to do it, we might invest a little bit just to, bump up the quality. But if you know how to do this at a basic level, then we can, easily go do that. That's what I think it is more than anything else, So I don't know. I'm interested to see how this show develops. I definitely am. They got me hooked in, a little high school drama, but you know, yeah. But it doesn't feel, you don't feel out of place as like an adult watching it. You know what I mean? You're just kind of like, oh, I can relate to that. These awkward situations, awkward talks with a school counselor, like who doesn't really understand what you're thinking, how you're processing shit at all. I also think it's weird that Jeff Schoolcast is talking about a reality in a world where like Doctor Strange exists. Like, why would I go to school, bro? Like Thanos just came and tried to delete half the population. Maybe it's school, you know, geometry and trigonometry and the Pythagorean theorem. Maybe you have to pick a career, Kamala, or no, because Iron Man exists, right? Like maybe not. Maybe I could just be exceptional in something else and just make it pop. Like it seems like that would be the world for it. So I don't know. That was weird. That was funny to me. Like, come to reality, Kamala. No.
To reality.
She's more well within her rights to believe she has a variable chance of getting superpowers. Look at the people who are like, look what's happening. Like, very much. I know they forgot the Peter Parker was Spider-Man, but for a while, like yo, anybody can get these shits. Like, yo,
just eat the wrong thing, get bit by the right thing.
Yo, it's around the corner. Be in the wrong place at the right time.
The wrong place at the right time.
And if you don't die, you get powers.
You get powers, yeah.
So
it doesn't kill you, literally makes you
facts. Facts. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm liking it. I'm excited. I'm interested to see more of it. So yeah, man. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good continuing to be good going forward. Definitely enjoyed the vibes of the first episode. Definitely.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the rest.
For sure, man. Well, as always, guys, that's the end of our episode here. So we appreciate you guys for listening. Thank you for sticking it out with us as we've been, through the ups and downs as they always pop up from time to time on these journeys. But yeah, appreciate y'all for being here. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure you go back and let us know if you forgot at the end. Remind you here to let us know what you think about our first little topic. What is it? Ocean, space? What do you prefer? What do you think is more likely to happen? Maybe next week we'll get deeper into what do you think happens. All right, you pick the ocean, what happens? You pick if you pick the space, what happens? Think about it. How do you think it actually plays out?
You pick the ocean, you're probably gonna get sushi.
Deep sea sushi.
Deep sea sushi.
It's a different color.
Hey, man. You say that, but you might need to eat yourself in John Boy egg out here.
Oh, hey, look.
My hands, Michael B. Jordan's.
We gotta get up out of here. We gotta get up out of here.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all for listening. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, enjoy. It's been Two Ugly Nerds, but there's three of us. Peace.
Out.